Your right side is your divine masculine. Your left is your divine feminine. So when a soul comes in, especially for me, as I start to channel, my body will respond to the soul as far as, male or female. And my whole right side, clear down to my toes, has got goosebumps right now. I mean, I wish that I could show the hair standing up. I don't have a lot of hair on my arms, so just a lot of goosebumps right now. So I have got a very strong man coming in, very masculine, very bold energy, to the point where, it's going all the way down my right side. And when I feel his energy coming in, now, right now, he's just energy. I'm not getting much through my gifts as like clairaudient or claircognizant, but as he's coming in, he's guiding me with the fact of telling you how proud he is, or how relieved he is that you are where you are now, as far as this relationship being done. Does that make sense at the moment?
That makes total sense.
Okay, beautiful. Okay. I'll tell you now, this is a very protective energy. Is this your dad? Have you lost dad?
I have not.
Okay, so I'm paternal. So I've got a very strong, like, father figure. It doesn't have to be dad, but someone who would be very protective. That does that? Okay, beautiful. Okay. Now, okay. Number 22. Boy, I'm getting lots of numbers left and right. Do you connect with 22?
That's my number.
Yay! I love it. Well, he must know. I love it. Well, there's such a connection with that number. Even, it's like when we constantly look at the clock and it's 111, 222, right? But that number for you connects with knowing that your guides are with you, your loved one in spirit is with you. And he's so adamant that you make sure you stay connected to this number, and knowing that you are being very well guided. You are not alone. I keep hearing, I need to tell you, you are not alone, over and over. Mm-hmm. Do you understand that, hon?
I keep telling myself that.
Okay. You are, and none of us are, right? We're never alone. I mean, sometimes we feel lonely, but we're never alone. And, as kind of, some people might find it kind of creepy and eerie, but you have a lot of loved ones in spirit that'll be with you and try to guide you. So when we have those moments of hopelessness or helplessness, I want you to reach out and ask for this guidance. I just heard a name. Boy, you got beautiful energy, hon. You've got so much that I'm just getting download after download. I'm supposed to tell you to let go of, and I heard a name, and names are very hard for me to hear. It's very hard for mediums to get their vibrational frequency that high. But I'm getting 2-syllable, like R-O, like Roger, Robert, Ronald, R-O, 2-syllable.
So, yeah. So today is the anniversary. Well, it's his birthday, but Robert passed away, and today's his birthday, so that makes sense.
Whoa. Okay. You just gave me chills everywhere. I'm going to have to reshave my legs tonight.
You and me both.
Chills everywhere, hon. Chills everywhere. Oh my gosh, I love this. This has got to be him. This is, being it's his birthday, and him being able to give me his name so clearly means that he, for one, is using a lot of his energy to come down to kind of our frequency to give me all this. So he is also a big reason why your cards came up. And oh my gosh, I just saw something. Okay, I have my little squirrel moment, so bear with me here. The moon card that you pulled, I'll try to show it on camera, is the number 18. And then the other card you pulled, the Emperor card, is the number 4. So what is 18 plus 4, my friend?
22.
Uh-huh.
Right?
Wow. Wow. So even your cards connect to 22. And he's the one that led me to your cards to validate that. So whoever Robert is connected to you, hun, is such a very beautiful soul, and so much intention coming from him of wanting to let you know he's here. And I think it's beautiful. And even some things I'm seeing in your cards is the believe in the impossible, and that was the Moonology, the Oracle. And there's such a feeling I see with this coming year, and remainder of this year, if you will, that's something that he is really wanting you to just absorb and believe in, and almost like your mission statement for the year, because you've had so much from your past that has not gone your way, and it almost feels like it's impossible to be happy. And now he's like, I know I wasn't a great person and contributed to your happiness, but now I'm in spirit, and now I know that what I've done my life review. I know I messed up. I know there's things I could have done better. And now I want you to know that you have what it takes within you. So believe in the impossible. And, the word impossible is literally, I'm possible. And girl, boy, you've got some amazing things coming. Ooh, I love it. I love it. This is so amazing. The other card I pulled is, I can't help but feel this is him. The affirmation said, I listen to the intuitive wisdom of my own feelings. I'm guided from within. Do you know it? And I just listening to your voice and connecting with your energy. Okay, I just looked at my clock. It's 6:22. There's another down 22. I love it. It's all him and it's all you. So, but you are so gifted, my friend. You have an amazing intuition. Do you know that?
I do, unfortunately. Or not fortunately.
I know. I always say it's a blessing and a curse, huh? Yeah, I get it. I get it. Well, I feel like this year for you is going to be that year of learning to connect with that intuition, and not just so much connecting, but trusting it. So please work on that. Work on this, because I just a quick story about myself, because it reminds me for some reason of you and being guided to tell you. But I used to work for a huge healthcare organization here in Utah, and I was a project manager, have my bachelor's degree, thought this was what I wanted to do with my life. Then COVID hit, good old pandemic in 2020. I quit my job. It'll be 3 years in July, because when COVID hit, I lost myself. I was working from home. I was depressed. And so I opened up my abilities. I always say I came out of the broom closet. So when I came out of the broom closet and decided to share my gifts, things just took off like crazy. And when I quit my job almost 3 years ago to pursue my purpose and my passion, life just got even better. And things, it hasn't been easy. It's very scary. I took that leap of faith, but I haven't looked back. That's what I want you to do. That's the focus, and that's what I see coming. But in order for you to do that, hun, you have got to trust all of that that's within you. Okay.
Okay.
Can I ask if you feel comfortable sharing who Robert is, this beautiful soul that's here?
Sure. He is the younger brother of my child's father.
Ah, okay. That makes sense. Okay. All right. Well, Oh, I heard happy birthday. I'm supposed to say happy birthday. I'm not sure whose birthday, but do you have a birthday coming or just passed?
Not really. My birthday's in November.
Okay. What about your babies, your kids?
She's a November baby too.
Oh, she is too. Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
Well, someone connected to Robert. I feel like you'll find out. I'm supposed to say happy birthday. So whether it's, I'm thinking it's more of a family member for him, but so just keep that in mind as you go, about the next, few months or whatnot. But I've got probably about 2 minutes here, hon, but I want to kind of give you a roundabout time here in the next about 4 months. So puts us in the summertime, July, June, July. Just watch for some changes with your job, with finding a new path, kind of really starting to trust in that beautiful intuition of guiding you to start doing the things that you love to do. Okay.
Okay.
Hey. All
Thank
right,
you.
my friend. Well, oh my gosh, you're so welcome. And thank you for trusting me and listening to me ramble on with all of your, all the stuff that was coming in like a floodgate. It was beautiful. But
It was awesome. Thank you so much.
good. You're so welcome, hon. And feel free to, you can follow me on my Facebook. It's Mini Medium. But I do free readings. I believe tonight I'm going to try to hop on and do some. So if you're up and you're wanting to, here in the next hour, I'll be on my Facebook page doing more free readings. So, but it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for calling in, and just have a beautiful night and a great solar eclipse weekend.
Thank you. You too.
All right, hon. Take care. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye.
All right, you guys. My gosh, that was just beautiful, right? I told you that the veil between us and the spirit realm, if I can talk, is unbelievably thin. So hearing names and these numbers and these connections, it's it's what I love. It's what I love to do. So, but please go and follow me on my Facebook at Mini Medium, or you can go to Instagram, Mini Medium 75, and then also you can also go to my YouTube channel, which is Mini Medium 75, and I will be doing some free readings and whatnot. So, but I cannot wait for next week. You all take care of yourself, and don't look up at that solar eclipse, but maybe go and just kind of peek your head out a little bit, right? All right, you guys. I will see you next week. Much love and light. Bye, guys.
To A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV and Lightning Television. Welcome. Time for astrology and psychic readings with Lady D. Lady D. Live from LadyDSPsychicParties.com. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv. This is Astrology and Psychic Reading on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Astrology and Psychic Readings with Lady D. I'm Lady D, your host for this segment, and I'm coming live from the MBS Festival in Sydney at the ICC Darling Harbour. So this week, what we got with the planets, we have on the 22nd, we have a lot of aspects with Pluto. So over this next week, there's going to be a lot of transformation that's kind of come up. I feel like it's things going to be quite deep that you've been thinking about or sort of been coming up that you're having to be dealing with, and it's going to be an outcome by the end of the week is what I feel. So we do have on the 22nd, Venus, which would be sextile to Pluto. So that's going to be about relationships and also finances. I feel like it's going to be like a pattern throughout the week. So I said a lot of stuff with Pluto. So I feel like there's going to be deep issues or deep things that you've been thinking about that are somehow going to transform by the end of the week. On the 23rd, we've got the Sun, which is going to be conjunct Venus, and that will, because the Venus is going to be moving into Pisces by the end of the week, but that will be in Aries. So that might be a day where a lot of confusion or arguments may be coming around relationships or money issues may be coming up on that day. We've also got on the 24th, we've got then the sextile with the Sun to Pluto. So again, with Pluto about the Phoenix, a lot of changes, but I feel like there's going to be positive changes and positive mindsets coming up as well. We're then going to have a conjunction with the Sun conjuncting with Mercury, so Mercury in retrograde. That again, I feel like it's about communication not going well, going a bit haywire, plans, and I feel like there's going to be a thing of being misled or things being misleading with that day. We then have another Pluto transit, another sextile with Mercury, so communication. On the 27th, we then have the square with Mars and Chiron again coming up. So I feel like that's about deep-wounded issues that haven't been resolved. And then we've got on the 27th, we've got Venus, which is going to be entering the Pisces. So Venus that's been in Aries is going to be a very different Venus moving into Pisces, where I feel like in Aries it's a bit more aggression, a bit more argumentative. Going into Pisces, it's a bit more victim mode, a bit more, I feel like, who's to blame or wanting to hide more in Pisces. It's a completely different energy and a different space that we're coming on. So, but I do feel like with the week ahead, it is going to feel a little bit hectic. I feel like it's going to be a sense where if people that are stubborn at the seem want to move, and I feel like you're going to feel like sometimes during this week pushing things up a hill, where it's just going to seem like things are a bit hectic and maybe even impossible. But it's also, I feel like it's putting you in a position so that you can maybe start again or reassess things by the end of the month, because we still got the eclipse coming up at the end of the month. Plus, there's a lot of other aspects that are not in full position, like in the exact position, but there's still a lot that's going to be coming up a week. And I just keep hearing that the week's going to be very, very hectic as well. So let's go to the caller. So we got here Kelly, who's in Cape Carroll, Florida. So hi, Kelly. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on the radio.
No problem. How can I help you today?
I just wanted to know if there's any general information or, it's my birthday coming up this weekend. I don't know if maybe any loved ones had any messages or...
Okay, let's have a look. I just get with you. It's like head down, bum up. I just feel like you don't have a lot of spare time on your hands with you as well. Your grandmother on your mum's side, she's passed over? Because I'm hearing grandmother on the mum's side. And I'm not the best with names, but I'm hearing like a J now. I'm hearing Joe, Jane, Jay. I'm not the best with names when I look at spirits. I'm more into like their personalities and what they showed me. But I am hearing J. So by any chance, do you have someone that's named such with J, like a Joan, or it's like a grandmother on your mother's side?
Not on my mother's side, but my father's side.
Oh, okay.
My grandma's name was Mary Jane.
Oh, excellent. I get excited because names is not something I get all the time. I feel like with her, she was a little bit stubborn. Like if she didn't want to do it, it's a bit of a stick in the mud. But I feel like though she had her favorite, so I feel like if you're her favorite, like you could talk her into doing to do whatever it is that she wanted to do. I also feel like she was in the kitchen. I feel like she preserved things like maybe pickles or pickled like fruit or things. I feel like she's keeping things in jars. I'm hearing preserving things. I feel like she knew how to preserve them, or she had things that were preserved in jars. I feel like she was a little bit slow on her feet by the end of it because she showed me that she's a bit slow. But as I said, I just feel like she got really a stick in the mud. If you didn't want to do it or she didn't like you, she would not budge with her. She does want to say happy birthday, and I feel like you are her favourite or you're her number one is what she's telling me. And she's giving me like a big birthday cake as well. She's also saying that she's very creative. Could she make cakes? Because I feel like she's telling me that she's got a cake and she's telling me that she made it. So could she make cakes?
She was a baker, yeah. She liked to bake.
Oh, excellent, because she's giving you this cake and she's telling me, she's like, I made this and it's beautifully decorated. So she wants to, she's telling me that it tastes really, really good. She knows she knows the secret to making the cakes like moist and never dry. I also feel like she made, I know you guys don't have scones there, but she's telling me that she did make scones, or she calling them scones, which I think is more of an English term, but she's telling me that she made them. And I know that's something that Americans don't actually have, but she's saying that she makes them. And she's also telling me that she's very, very creative as well. She's still saying to don't listen to anyone else. And I feel like this is in regards to a male. She's saying he doesn't know what he's talking about or what he wants to do. She's saying you need to listen to you, you need to listen to yourself. She's also saying that it's time that you have a holiday because you've been working too hard and it's like time to stress less, but she wants you to go out. I am seeing like a holiday. I am seeing like I am going plane travel, but I also want to go like, I don't know if you're cruising back. Like I see like a plane and a cruise, but I feel like that you maybe catch a plane somewhere and then maybe cruise back or something like that. She wants you to go and have a really good holiday. And I do feel like it's somewhere where it is warmer, it's not cold weather. And I do get it's like multiple places that you're going to go and see. And I feel like, so it could be like on the border of Mexico or Bermuda, or is Bermuda a place, I can't remember the country, but anyway, I just heard Bermuda. But I feel like there's multiple places for you to go to. But she's very excited for you because she's saying to me, your patience is being tested. And I feel like I'm going with that with the little ones, like the children. The patience is going to be tested, and it's going to be more because I feel like they're more trying to push you to see how far they can push you as well. Do you have any questions for me?
No, not at all. Thank you.
That's okay. So just if I get anything else for you for your birthday, I just feel like just have a great day. I feel like the day will be special, and I do see you going out and having fun and celebrating like how you want to celebrate it. I do see someone who is trying to. I don't think this is your birthday, this is something else that is trying to steer you in a different direction, and you need to say like no to them and just listen to yourself, like you know what you need to do is what I feel. So yeah, so let's have a look at some cards for the week ahead and let's see what's going to happen this week. Let's get some cards out too. So like I said, if you're in town, if you're in Sydney, come and say hello. There's plenty of things to do here. I was at the Speakers Lounge yesterday giving a talk on King Henry VIII's chart, as well as doing some free readings. But there's different things like health, there's remedies, there's also crystal shops, there's to buy cars, there's to get readings, there's anything and everything spiritual here. There's even Lisa Curry, who's a swimmer back in the 80s, famous Australian swimmer. Okay, let's have a look cards for the week. Okay, so I do feel like this week, as I said before, it will be hectic that I was hearing, and I feel like it's a sense like a juggling act here, trying to get things done. I feel like people are pushing, like people are a bit pushy this week, and there's like a butting heads. People aren't seeing eye to eye, but it's also about forgiveness, but also I feel like there's a little bit of manipulation, but I feel like people are feeling stuck. So I feel like relationships that aren't working this week, it is like you're feeling a little bit stuck, like you don't know where to go from here. You're kind of at a standstill, but I feel like one person will need to make a move. But also this week coming up, there's also a sense of regrowth. So I feel like this is about nurturing projects, things that you wanting to aspire, things that you want to start. It is about looking at those projects and bringing them to life and nurturing them. Also, it's about wishes this week too. The stars near wishes. So I do feel like this week is also about wishes too. There also could be a sense of relationships like love at first sight, but I feel like this might be blind love, like your eyes aren't really wide open. So just because we are in those retrogrades, so just about keeping your eyes open and keeping your wits about you. If you are starting a relationship and you are being stuck off your feet, just make sure you do have your wits about you and you know what's going on. So we do have a lot going on, even with the cards this week that's saying, I know for a lot of clients that have had here, people sitting down and getting issues with relationships. So it's a common theme that's been happening this week ahead. So also what we've got, if you are in Sydney, we also have some workshops coming up too. I got the Psychics at Sea, of course, this is my Psychics at Sea flyer. So if you are looking at joining us for a cruise and learning spiritual development, come along with us. We're going to be learning on water. We're teaching on water, so that's the best possible way to learn, whether it's psychic, mediumship, and even looking at astrology and numerology. It's the best way to learn on water. I've also got a one-day workshop coming up in April, which is going to be coming up. So if you want to have a taster of what we're going to do in the boat, come to our one-day workshop. It's going to be amazing. And I'm also going to be having a psychic medium show in Mittagon at the end of May. So we've got a lot of stuff coming up, which is absolutely fantastic. So if you want to connect with me for a reading, you can. My website is at ladyDPsychicParties.com, just behind me there. My Facebook page is also Lady D Psychic Parties. My Instagram is Lady DS Psychic. My YouTube is Lady D or Danielle Psychic, and my TikTok is Lady Psychic as well. So I hope you all have an amazing week ahead. We're all leading up to that solar eclipse. It's happening in Aries by the end of next week. So we are going to be going through a lot more stuff this week, as I said. And I said the month of March will be a little bit hectic. And then we go into next month where the retrograde stop. But I hope you all have an amazing week. As I said, if you're in Sydney, come down, experience the festival here. It's an amazing festival. It's for 4 days and it's here twice a year. So thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next week back in my regular space. And I hope you had an amazing week ahead. So bye for now.
Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome. Time for Insights with Solaris with Jennifer. Live from Solaris.1. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv. This is Insights with Solaris on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Insights with Solaris, where I am your host, Jennifer, a tarot reader for over 10 years and certified in over a dozen healing modalities. At the end of the day, I simply say I am a channel of spirit, bringing messages to those who find me. And I'm just going to go ahead and jump right into that weekly reading that everyone is waiting for. So this is the next 7 days. So whenever you are listening to this, it will be the energies to look out for within the next 7 days until we meet again. And it seems like it is going to be a little bit rough. And this is okay, because when we have 1 day out of the year, that's not necessarily how we would want. It's not going to change everything. And it seems like there may be quite a few people that's having trouble sleeping lately. Or there's a bunch of thoughts, anxiety, and worry coming forward. And Spirit is coming through to say, it's okay. It's okay to have the feelings. It's okay to be anxious, but you need to step back and focus on what's important to you, because whatever situation that you are in right now that is causing any feelings of anxiety, it is self-imposed. You don't have to worry about what's going on over here if it doesn't involve you. You don't have to plan everything minute by minute in order to be successful. And it's really coming down to having a little bit more faith, not like in the universe, but having faith in yourself, knowing that you have everything that you need to be successful already. Sometimes we may stumble a little bit, but if you're still here and if you're still listening to this message, that means you have succeeded every single day that you have woken up. You're here, you're succeeding in life, even though sometimes it doesn't feel like it. But anything that is causing you that worry right now, it's truly being a testament of what you can rise above. So try not to take it so seriously and take a moment back, do a little bit of self-care, try focusing on sleep. Because as we're going into next week, there is some romance kicking up as we are moving out of Venus retrograde. So having those very fun, intimate relationships with your loved ones, friendships, community, it's going to come up with a beautiful end of these 7 days. Just feel out any anxiety and know that you can rise above it, because you have done it every single time something has came your way. And we're going to hop on to our caller for today. We have Amanda. Hello, Amanda. How are you? Amanda? All right. So sometimes this happens, especially when we're in the shadow Mercury retrograde. Last week, we had a little bit of technical difficulties, and it looks like this week is too. But you know what? That's okay, because we just continue on. And what I am hearing is some messages. These are going to be specific messages for a follower, so not so much as the collective 7 days. But as far as any women who are currently listening to that is either within school or in a teaching position, you're going to have a lot of options coming forward to you. You're going to have a lot of decision making. So you may be trying to do like a plan for your students, or you may be trying to wonder what classes to take. So, and I am picking up feminine energy. You don't necessarily have to be a female for that, but that's just the energy for this message, is that you're going to have to stop procrastinating and really step in to what you want to do. You have to make your dreams come true. You just can't sit around and pray that it comes to you. Yes, that can help with our manifestation, but you still got to take your actions, right? If you want to have this beautiful garden of opportunities, you have to go and actually plant the seeds. So it's a reimagination of what you're wanting, because studying, helping your students, whatever situations you find yourself in, it's going to be incredible. All right. And then let's see, is Amanda there now?
I am.
Okay. Hi, how are you?
Hi. I'm good, and yourself?
I'm doing good. What type of questions do you have tonight?
I have one about my current partner. We're about to move in, and I just don't know if he's always being truthful about things.
Okay.
And I sort of want a little bit of insight on that.
Do you have a common friend group or a common friend that you're a little bit worried about?
Yes.
Okay. Let's dive into that. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I can automatically see that. Yeah, this is keeping you up at night. You're definitely was part of that collective reading where that worry and anxiety is really picking up this week. So let's see what we have here. It seems as you are both stepping into this period of your dreams coming true, finding a person that you want to take that next step with, even though it's a little bit scary. And it seems like you've been planning that for a while. So it's not something that you just like, hey, let's go out and let's live together and all this stuff. It's been well planned out. So
that is, yeah.
Yeah, so I am seeing that we, in the near future position, we have the Magician, and this is a beautiful card when you want something specific, okay? This means you have what you need to succeed. You have built the results and success as you have wanted. And what I'm seeing here is a lot of unity. I'm not seeing anything. I see that anxiety, but I'm not seeing any foundation of this anxiety. I see a man that is maybe a little bit slow moving, but like he's reliable. He walks a little bit at a time. This unity and traditional mindsets between both of you is coming together, and that emotion is there as well. So I'm not seeing that foundation, but I see that there is going to be a time for introspection here. So let's see, intentions. Let's see the intentions of your person. Yeah, like his intentions right here is the star, happy ending, giving you what you want, having that family life. Let's see, what are your worries and where are your worries stemming from for Earth? Okay, holding on a little bit too tightly and having your defenses up. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, you're carrying a lot of burdens right here, and it seems like there is some more external circumstances that's adding on to your current anxiety, because it's like, okay, these things, like maybe it's a little bit more stressful at work, and like, hey, you can handle that, but you're channeling this nervous energy within your relationship because that is a big change coming forward. So you're kind of like directing all of your nervous energies into one thing. So let's talk about this third party that was trying to come up, this friend. Unnecessary worry, a temporary pause in action. Yeah, let's see, what else, Spirit? Is there anything that needs to be known about this third party? Yeah, releasing harsh judgments. There may have been or will be some more disagreements about how to move forward. So we get those arguments, especially if you're taking that step forward to move in together. There is that criticizing part that comes in, that judgment part of like, oh, I want that person to clean, or like, hey, I need you to do this, and we're living together, or like, hey, you're snoring and now this is really bothering me because I have it every night. So there's this type of situation like, take a step back, because it's really not about the relationship. It's a reflection of yourself, and this is for both parties. So criticizing your partner is just going to increase any type of unhappiness or friction is there. It's really about understanding this person who you work together for quite a while in order to build this relationship, to come in and say, I love you for who you are. I accept you for who you are. I'm going to release these judgments, and anything that does come up, we're going to talk about it and we're going to work through it. But again, I am not seeing anything with a third party. I do see some time that will need to be spent alone. It is a big change.
Okay.
So there's going to be navigation here. But yeah, I'm seeing a man who is really ready to work with you. And if you are feeling a little bit anxious, especially if this third party, this friendship is somebody that your partner works with, you are allowed to put boundaries in place. Be like, hey, I'm not really comfortable with this. I understand that, like, hey, you work with them and you need to have that professional side and have good colleagues, but you can compromise on that. And it does seem like he would be willing to listen to anything that you have to say, as long as you're coming in with like that understanding, like, okay, and really understand, like, if you do have an insecurity about this relationship, is to being able to talk about it. But just make sure that you're not coming off as you're criticizing, like, oh, I don't like it when you hang out with this person, or, oh, this upsets me. It's like, go about it in a more calm way in your emotions. So criticizing him, jumping off of the thing, that's not going to help anybody. I mean, it may help your frustration, but it's just going to cause more friction. Okay. And so, yeah, just another note that's coming in, there may be some fears surrounding money coming forth. So, or if someone's a little bit worried about employment or self-employment, that is going to be okay. You guys are going to have enough in that abundance, right? You're going to have enough. You're going to have that creativity. There's just a little bit more of anxiety here. And it does seem like your partner is going to have an experience that is going to bring him a lot of sadness. This could be a loss of a family member or something. But I think that's the hermit mode that's coming in. That's for you when you need to separate for a short time in order to go through this situation. But overall, I don't see that third party. I see somebody who wants to build that future with you. You're just going to have a little bit of bumps in the road to get there. So release those fears, those insecurities, and trust that intuition, and you're going to do great. But everything, just reminder, change. So make sure that you're continuously looking at yourself and at the situation. As of right now, there's nothing to worry about. This person really cares for you.
Oh, that's wonderful to hear. Thank you so much. You answered all my questions.
Have a great night.
Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV and Lightning Television. Welcome. Time for New York City Celebrity Psychic with Perry Lyons. Perry Lyons. Live from PerryLyons.com. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv. This is New York City Celebrity Psychic on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hello, darlings. I'm Perry Lyons. This is Moonstruck TV and A1R Psychic Radio. We're the biggest metaphysical network in the world. Not to brag, but smoke them if you got them. Speaking of smoking if you got them, I don't know if you can see in the back there, I put some magic colored stuff in my fire. So, woo-woo, all very magical. So happy year of the wood snake, everyone. It's the Chinese, I don't know if you know about the Chinese zodiac, but it's a 12-year cycle. And it usually starts late January, early February. So if you were born in the year of the snake, congratulations. This is going to be a very good year for you. The year of the snake is normally a year of great transition. We're shedding old ways and coming into new ways. People born in the year of the snake are often very beauty-oriented. Snake is an ancient symbol of beauty in ancient texts. They're also good at doing things like sort of starting over again really quickly as the snake sheds its skin. They're also very resilient, see above shedding skin. And also, I'm deathly afraid of you guys. No, I'm not. I'm so scared of snakes. So I'm going to pretty much spend this year hiding under the couch. It's also a good year for the following. If your year of the rat, which is 1960, 1972, 1984, and like that, 1996, it's a very good year. It's a salty pool moon. I'm not actually sure why they call it salty pool moon. It just means that you probably fall madly in love and have good luck in business. Both would be great. No show's rat. Year of the horse, which is like 1954, 1966, 1978, 2002. I think I missed one there. Oh, well. If you're a horse, you know you're a horse. Horses are great. Horses are they're beautiful and independent and kind of self-sufficient, but also very cheerful. But we like them anyway. So for horses, it's the year of the peach blossom, as well as the wood snake. It's the peach blossom star, which means that it's going to be a much nicer year for you than, say, last year. So things are about to get a lot better in your domestic and romantic life. About time, too. If you're born in the year of the monkey, which is 68 plus 12, 1980, 1992, what's 1992, 2004? I forgot. I'm sorry, I'm not very good at math. Anyway, it's the year of the, I can't read my own writing. Red Cheetos? No, that's not right. I think Red Lantern Star. So again, for all of you guys, good year for love, pretty good year for business and for money. And that's fabulous. Who doesn't like business and money? All good. Good for year of the dog too. So that's 1958, 1970, 1982, 1994, 1994, and whatever was 12 years after 1994. I'm sorry. It's the red matchmaker star is ascendant for you guys. So if you're born in the year of the dog, and if you are very loyal, for one thing. You're very good at telling the truth, which can make you a lot of friends and the occasional enemy. You're very good at seeing what's actually going on. And again, these are all kind of cheerful signs. I'm year of the tiger, which is probably why my shoulder's on fire. And we're going to wait till next year to have a good year. But in general, it's a year in which we'll find our own resilience for dogs, rats, horses, and monkeys. It's a year in which certain love is very much aspected. And for the rest of us, there's always next year. No, it's generally a pretty prosperous year. anyway, so that's, if you're interested in Chinese and Western astrology, like what is a Libra dog like, or what is a Taurus horse? Shout out to my friend Katerina, who's one of those. There's a great book. Grab a pen. It's by my wonderful friend, the late Suzanne White, and it's called The New Astrology. It is awesome. I've never had a book stolen so often by famous people. True fact. Courtney, if you're out there, I'd like my book back. Okay, and now we're going to segue like that. That's the segue. You know what? Well, before I segue into the psychic tarot weather, I just want to take a moment and thank my viewers and my listeners. I really love you guys. I get the best people calling in, and I feel like you're my own personal kind of, I don't know, love squad. And I'd like to thank my great friends like Nancy and the other Nancy, and there's a third Nancy, and Meredith, Katerina, Jennifer, all you guys, my squad of the heart, which doesn't actually rhyme, but you know what I mean. So to all of you, I love you. Happy Chinese New Year. It actually begins in about 3 hours, I think. So if you suddenly feel different. Oh, one last thing before we do the psychic tarot weather. It's also a very powerful new moon tonight. So new moon in Aquarius only happens once a year. And a new moon, also called the dark of the moon, which sounds all sexy and mysterious. So I kind of like that one better. But new moon sounds kind of cheery and shiny. That's good too. New moon in Aquarius, new moons are good for beginnings. So it's a great night or tomorrow for setting intentions, for wiping the slate clean and just starting again. Since it's in Aquarius, if you want to make sort of intentions about friends, about social justice, about all the things that Aquarius kind of rules, about your future, all that good stuff. Great time to do it. Okie doke. Now we're going to do the psychic tarot weather. Hey, Angela. Oh, hey, Texas. I'm going to just do the psychic tarot weather. While you're waiting, I'm going to ask that you breathe in deeply like this. And then one more on top of that, like that. Then I'm going to ask that you breathe out like this. Which sounds rude. So if anybody laughs at you, just refer them to me and I'll come over and frown at them. Do that a few times because what that does is resets your nervous system. Good? Yes?
Thank you.
Okay.
What kind of reading is this? I'm sorry. Is it medium or tarot?
Whatever. I'm a psychic. I'm an all-purpose mystic, basically. So give me about 3 minutes. I'm just going to do the psychic tarot weather for all of us, and I'll be right with you. And just do that breathing while you're waiting. Sure. Okay, guys. Interesting cards this week. I've got gold cards. So look, I have actually my nails done. They're gold because I have a moon in Leo. If you have Leo anywhere in your chart, you like gold, shiny things. Woo! Okay, first one. Oh, and just so you know, this is for this week. If you're watching or listening, even if you weren't trying to, and if you weren't trying to, shame on you, but come back next week. So this just applies to you. The week starting today, ending next Wednesday, when you'll tune in and get the next week's reading. So this week starts out with the Fool card, which does not mean that you're a fool. There we go. Very shiny card. If you'll notice, the Fool card, he's stepping off into the unknown, and his little dog, and your little dog too, his little dog is either warning him not to go or asking him to take him with him. So you're about to take a big step up in your life, and it might be kind of a scary one, but hey, no risk, no reward. I mean, don't be too risky, but you know what I mean. Anyway, so you're starting sort of a new cycle in your life, and very interesting. I think the seeds for this were planted sometime in the last 6 weeks. So as you move forward, just bring your old self with you, but the best parts of your old self, and be open to the parts of your new self that are showing themselves to you. I have a feeling that this is a time that you're going to discover kind of an inner bravery, an inner discipline, and an inner determination that's going to really be useful for you in the year to come. Woo, I love doing that. Okay, the next card, this is very interesting. This card heralds, it's a Wheel of Fortune card. I don't know if you remember that song from the LA Confidential soundtrack. I just dated myself. A Wheel of Fortune. Anyway, so Wheel of Fortune card basically means one thing. your luck kind of sucked for rather a while there. It's suddenly about to get much better. Don't know why, don't know how. It's a very simple card. I know other people make it a lot more complicated, but they're not me. But so it means your luck might have just not been good. And then suddenly, sometimes almost overnight, it gets a lot better. A lot better. Third card, 3 Pentacles, often means, I used to call this the record company card back when there were records and record companies. It's a craftsman. I don't know if you can see this. And he's just done some beautiful stonework in the cathedral owned by 2 very strangely dressed people. And he's showing them his handiwork, and they're saying, very nice stonework. And no, we don't know why we're dressed like this, but it means an artist who is either getting some sort of secure job, like within an artist, like in record companies, used to be that when an artist was signed, they'd be creative, but they'd have like this corporate kind of security blanket around them. So this might be a side hustle too, because this often suggests that something you do for fun is also making you money. So it's a time to look at all your marketable talents, even if you don't think they're marketable. Maybe ask your friends, what talent do I have that I don't know about? And then listen to the answer. So there you go. That's the week. Come back next week for next week's cards. Hello, dear. Angela, thank you for being so kind. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Love that Texas twang there. Very cute. Okay, I like to connect to people through their birthdays. So when is your birthday, my dear? Are you there, Angela?
Yes, I'm sorry. I muted you. Okay, I muted you with my cheek. My birthday is May 5th.
Oh, we love Tauruses around here. Shout out to all my Taurus girls. And how can I help you today?
Well, I would like an overall reading about my life. These last 6 months I've been back and forth with somebody, and then we ended things, and I met somebody else, and it was really great in the beginning, but then things ended. It was really good in the beginning, and then it all went to hell. I don't know what. I mean, he's a difficult person, I found out, and I'm sorry?
Was the second guy an air sign, like Gemini, Libra, Aquarius?
No, the first guy, the one that I've been with for 6 years, he's an Aquarius. Him and I broke up, and I met somebody else. We dated for 3 months, and like I said, everything was great. And then he was a Scorpio. And then we ended things, and Aquarius came back begging me for another chance. We got engaged, and things were really good. He was missing me. He said he couldn't live without me. And then a couple of months later, things changed. And literally today, he packed up and left. And I'm relieved. I'm relieved that he's gone because it was just, it was crowding me. I felt like a prisoner. I did. And the accusations of me cheating and doing things I'm not doing, and it's done, and I don't want to be with him, but I'm just kind of wondering what's next. I want to know what is next as far as my love life, and again, just overall my finances is something that I'm probably more concerned about than my love life.
Got it. So let me just get this straight. And now you have to tell me your birthday again, because I connect to people through their birthdays, and I got so wrapped up in your story that I've now forgotten yours. Tell me your birthday again.
May 5th.
Right. I'm sorry. Taurus, of course. I don't know what's wrong with me. Yeah. So, okay. First of all, Aquarius and Taurus, not so much. I'm going to say it's going to be really good at the beginning. Aquarian men are also going through a really weird time right now. Everything is in Aquarius, like everything in the small planets, the big planets, you name it, they're going through it. So, and they tend to be, problem with Taurus and Aquarius is Tauruses tend to be caregivers and empathetic and very, really give. And Aquarius men tend to, how can I put this? Kind of take, not all of them, but they tend to be have a hard time connecting to their emotions. And when they do connect to their emotions, sometimes it's the wrong ones. So I'm not crazy about Taurus Aquarius. I think it's good for as long as it lasts, but I don't know, for the long run, not so sure. I would not be with anybody that you've been with before. I would take a deep breath like that, and then take a couple of weeks off from dating. I don't think I'd let the second guy back in your life either. I get the feeling that he's kind of a narcissist. I feel like what happened was he love bombed you. Yeah. And this is what narcissists do. I know it's a popular word, but I'm going to use it correctly. A genuine narcissist will do this. He will come on with all guns blazing. He will send you flowers. He'll write songs about your name, sometimes even good ones. Well, not that often. He will tell you everything a woman wants to hear and then some. And then as soon as he's got you, he's like, okay, bored, next. And it's really strange because they'll just turn up just like that. And you're like, what happened to the guy who used to come in here and get on his knees and sing a song to me? And like, oh, well, he's gone now. So I would say, I think what I'd like you to do is say with me, I'm no longer open for narcissists. Say it with me. I am no longer open for narcissists.
I'm no longer open to narcissists.
There you go. Bingo. I put that into the law of truth for you. I think what's coming up, I think there's going to be real upswing for you. Definitely around your birthday, but I think in about 6 to 8 weeks. How do you normally meet people? I think you're very attractive, and it sounds like you're also pretty young, but you're very cute, I got to say. So I don't think meeting people is a problem for you. I would think about, if you've been dating online, I would think about getting offline for a little while and meet people in real life. And the other thing is, go where the good fish are. If you go to church or synagogue or anything like that, maybe start showing up and maybe volunteer for some stuff or do some volunteer work when you have a little time. A, it's not a bad way to get a new job or get a side job. And B, it's a good way to meet good people, good men, because if they're volunteering, they're good people. Either that or they're listening to the show and they're going to use it to pick up girls, but I don't think so. So what I also get for you is you haven't been really using your main talent. I think it's something as a are you like a brilliant hairdresser or something that you're not doing?
No, I'm not a hairdresser, but I'm very creative and I like a lot of interaction. I love to do PR, marketing. I like to interact with people. And I recently got an offer to join this design company that sells window treatments. And I just signed a contract with them, and it's creative and it's something that it's active. My job is behind a desk and it's boring, but it pays the bills. It pays good.
Okay, so you're right on target. I knew it wasn't hairdresser, but I knew it had something to do with like beauty and beautiful things and moving around. So good for you. You're right on target. And I would the only things you have to do is show up early for that job because your boss is a real stickler for time. So show up 15 minutes early every day. Never call in sick. I mean, obviously, if your leg is falling off, but aside from that, not so much. And after about 6 months, I think they're going to promote you. So I'm so glad you got that job. It's right in line with what I'm seeing for you. So your finances are going to improve. The other thing is, I think you've got a side hustle, but wait until you settle into the new job to think about the side hustle. Side hustle, I'm not sure what it is. Yeah?
That's my side hustle. The design company is my side hustle. It's what I do on Saturdays. And I have a Monday through Friday job at a law firm. And I'm doing good there.
Yeah, you are. I think what's going to happen is in 6 months, and right now, with things so crazy in the world right now, stability is good. But I think if you hint around at the design job, you'll find that they might want you full time. So don't make any big decisions right now, not till after June, maybe. But you've got a good year ahead of you, and you're handling your finances well. You've trimmed down a lot of your finances recently. So I'm very proud of you for that. It's hard for us ladies. I'm like, I need that $40 moisturizer. The voice in my head is like, no. So I think you're doing well. I think your guy's going to show up give it a few months. I think you're going to go out on a couple of dates that aren't going to work out. I mean, who knows? Maybe they'll work out a bit, but I think August or September is when you're going to meet your person. And I think he's going to be your person, like your person. Until then, really concentrate on what you're doing right now. You're taking care of yourself, getting your finances in order. You're doing something you love on the side. You're being great at the law office. I'm seeing some sort of promotion for you. At one, maybe both jobs the next few months. So you're doing great. And you've got some good friends in the law office. But it's very important for you to get some exercise. So that's one reason that sitting at a desk is like not working for you. So if you can like hit the gym or go for a 5-mile walk before you go to work, that'll help a lot. But I think you've got a really nice year coming up, honey. I really do. I'm so happy about that.
You think what?
Yay. I think you've got a really nice year coming up. I really do. And I think as the year progresses, things are going to get better and better for you. I would concentrate on yourself for a little while, because the more we do that, the faster Mr. Right shows up. Because you're so pretty and you're so outgoing, sometimes guys want you as a trophy, or they want you because you look good in their arm, you make them look good. But we want somebody who loves that you're beautiful, but for him, that's just the cherry on the top. He really loves who you are. And that's what I see coming for you. Is good?
Good.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, sweetie. Take care of yourself. Big hug. Thank you for calling. Okay. Do we have somebody on the line? Or shall I just continue to? Oh, Beth. Hello, Beth. Nice to meet you. Where are you calling from?
Hi.
Hi.
I'm sorry?
Where are you calling from, my angel?
Where am I calling? I'm calling from Virginia.
Oh, I love Virginia. Okay. And when is your birthday? I like to connect people through their birthdays.
11/16/67.
Ooh, Scorpios. We love them. Yummy. I'm a Pisces. I got a PhD in Scorpios. And
I'm a Scorpio, baby.
Yeah, I'm a Pisces, so we get you. I love you already.
Oh, gosh.
So how can I help you, my angel? Yeah.
Well, what do you see? Do you pick up on anything?
Do you want to give me like finance, love? It's easier if you give me a category. It's easier for me to jump in. Oh, I can jump in anyway. Okay,
let's see. Let's do finances.
Okay. Yeah, I actually think you're doing okay in the love department. Here's the thing: when somebody has been in a relationship for a long time, sometimes reads to me as though they're single, because the line is sort of like, which is good. You don't want lines that go like this. So I kind of think your love life is kind of okay. Are you with somebody? Have you been in a long-term relationship?
Yeah, I'm married. But no, I want to talk about finances.
Yeah,
what about finances?
I just wanted to check that out and make sure I was right. Actually, you're pretty good at making money. The only thing holding you back is you don't think you're very good at making money, but you're very good at making money. You just need a little confidence. So I feel like you have a job you're not thrilled about. Again, not unlike the caller before you. 1 second. I'm just hearing my guides are chiming in with something. I feel like you have a talent that you could make money with, that you're not quite, you don't think you're qualified, or you don't think you can. Is that right? Do you have some sort of talent that you're not using?
I'm getting ready to do a wedding venue, and I have a lot of questions, and I'm getting more confident, but I'm not. It's been a long, drawn-out thing. Lots of things have happened, and kind of stoppages, and now we're kind of like ready to flow through it. So hopefully, yes, I will. I will do this. I'll navigate through it. Okay, all the red tape.
Oh God, yeah. Well, there's going to be a lot of that, but it's going to suddenly sort of fix itself in a couple of weeks. I'm not sure how. The other thing are you a wedding planner? Because something that involves organization and social skills and like a creative vision is perfect for you. So is that what you're doing? I
definitely am going to probably be a wedding planner with this venue. God. I'll probably do a little bit of that. Yeah. With these venues, actually. I have 2 properties that I want to do venues on.
Here's what I suggest. Take the next couple months, because things are really going to open up for you starting in March and then again in July. Pisces season going to be very nice for you, dear. So it's February 20th to March 20th. Here's what I suggest. You have a day job, right? You're doing something.
Yes.
Yeah, you're behind a computer. You kind of manage people, but you don't let them know you're managing them. So that's very good. And I'm not quite sure what that is, but let me get back to what I'm interested in, which is your actual love job. Over the next few months, what I'd like you to do is very slowly, one step after another, not that slowly, set up a website, take nice pictures of yourself, put together your vision of who you should look like. Because again, I'm getting a lot of good looking callers tonight. You're a very attractive person and you got really good style. Scorpios always, they're like sexy, but demure.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So I would start building the business from the ground up, because I feel like at the end of the year, just take it step by step. Don't get swamped, because we get a little easily, us water signs, we get overwhelmed kind of easily. So, but you've got really good organizational skills and you're very strong, like in your spirit. I don't know how else to put it. So you're going to do fine. I think by the end of the year, you're going to be booking a few venues. And then I think we got 60 seconds. And I think by mid 2026, you're going to be able to do wedding planning full time, because that's what you should be doing. You're so good at it.
That's
couples
beautiful.
Love you. Yeah, that's
Thank
what I get.
you. I'm excited.
Love, thank you so much for calling. We're going to jump off, but
thank you so much. Yeah.
And that color looks great on you. All right, bye, sweetie. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for calling in. See you next week. I'm Perry Lyons. You can contact me at Perry Lyons on Facebook, PERILYONS. And I'm back next week on Moonstruck and A1R, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. See ya.
Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, Enlightening Television. Welcome. Time for Mystic B Spiritual Insights, hosted by Anna Marie. Live from mystic-b.com. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv. This is Mystic B Spiritual Insight on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Mystic B Spiritual Insights. If you are tuning in for the first time, thanks for being here. My name is Anna Marie, and I am your host. This show is all about offering spiritual insights, a couple of live readings, and really just trying to share some intuitive guidance that will help you on your journey. So I'm humbled that you've decided to join me as we celebrate, I'm sure as all of you have heard by now, the spring equinox and the kickoff to Aries season. Whatever circumstance you may have going on in your life, I thank you for spending your time with me, and I hope you find this meaningful. big picture, spring equinox technically is really just when the sun crosses the equator. It moves from the southern hemisphere to the northern hemisphere, and there's an equal amount of day and night. So energetically, there's just a lot of us in the metaphysical realm that we look at this as an opportunity to see balance between light and dark, and really just that transition from endings and new beginnings as we call in the season of spring. So it may not feel like spring where you are. I know it's still a little bit cold here in Boise. There's still snow up on the hills and the heat's going at night. But regardless of where you are or what the weather looks like for you, just remember that this is really about the energy of spring. And it's that energetic shift towards growth and renewal. We also have Aries season that kicks off tomorrow. I'm also an Aries, good or bad, right? I will say I'm a recovering Aries. How's that? Lots of great qualities that Aries can have. They also have challenges like every other sign. But the thing that's great about kicking off this first sign of the zodiac is that Aries is really known for high energy, very action oriented. There's a lot of confidence and courage and kind of sometimes unapologetic boldness that will come with some Aries. So for those of you that really want to embrace the transition into the month of spring, you may have Aries in your chart. If you do or you don't, this is still a great time to try to manifest those new beginnings. So one of my favorite practices is I love writing. I like lists. I prefer to do it with old school paper and pen. But think about creating 2 lists. One list of just affirmations about what you're releasing and what you'd like to bring in. And the second is really just your manifestation list. All of those things that you would like to bring in this coming season. I personally like to seal them in an envelope. I then tuck them away and I revisit them at the following or the end of the season and the upcoming summer. So just something to think about. But why don't we go ahead and just try to carry that positive energy about growth and renewal into our upcoming readings. We have Tammy, I believe, from Ontario, Canada, joining us. Tammy, do I have you with me?
You do.
How are you?
I'm good. And yourself?
I'm great. I'm thankful that you've decided to tune in. So I would love to help you and support you in some way. Do you have a particular topic that you would like to drill in on, or would you like a general reading?
General.
Just general? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see here. I think just kind of what I'm tapping into is maybe that's why you're asking for general. I feel like there's just a lot of different things that you would like clarity on.
Yeah.
I was going to say, it feels like you have a whole laundry list. So I would imagine it feels like just all areas of your life seem a little bit clouded for you right now. I feel like you're in limbo. It's almost that transition, just like we're talking about the spring equinox crossing from one hemisphere to the other. It feels like you're in a doorway or a threshold of change. Like everything's sort of been moving, but it hasn't quite made the complete shift yet. It feels like home, money, work, relationships. It really feels like everything. Does this make sense for you?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. But I feel like there's one particular area that may be taking more time and energy. And so I always try to be sensitive about the types of relationships. I need to get better about how I describe energies, but I'll be my unapologetic Aries self and say, I feel like there's more concentration over perhaps a male energy that is a little bit moodier and maybe having just more influence on your mindset and how you're looking at these circumstances. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely. Boyfriend.
Because I feel like you don't have that personality, but he has quite an influence on whether or not you're looking at these changes in an optimistic way or a more cynical way. So I just want to say, I feel like you're doing the right thing. Like, you're trying to be optimistic. I think you have a lot of faith and you're believing in kind of higher powers, so to speak, to work these things out. Does that resonate?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Wow.
So here's the thing. Don't be discouraged. He just processes information and events differently than you do. Hang on to your faith and your belief. I absolutely believe that things are going to work out. I feel like you may also wonder, because of his disposition, I think you may wonder sometimes if you guys are a good fit. I don't see you giving up on anything, just so you know. I don't think whatever the disconnects are, they don't seem significant enough for you to move on. I just think that this is the quirky part of his personality that you are just going to accept. So I feel like from a relationship standpoint, if that's one of those topics, I feel like it is successful. I feel like you get through things, you build more of a foundation together. But I feel like all of these other things that are in flux are what make you nervous. Does this make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So I feel like I want to try to help you because there's so many different topics, and I like when these things happen organically. So I don't want you to tell me the topics first, but I think what I would like to do is just try to drill into, maybe we can pick 3 topics with the short time that we have, and I'll see if I can give you a little bit more encouragement. Does that sound like a plan?
Yep, sounds good.
Okay. So when I think, just from a money perspective, I think you just need to, and I feel like you've been responsible, like you're being very practical and mindful with your money. I feel like you just need to do that for a little bit longer and you'll find some reprieve. It feels like in the next month or so, things will improve. Okay.
Perfect.
I also feel like there's some sort of emotional dynamic, and I don't know, it feels like it might be in a professional setting, or it could be friends or family that you work with or do business with, but it feels like you're having to defend yourself professionally. Is there some sort of issue that you've been dealing with that you just feel like you're not getting a fair shake?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
Some days, definitely.
Okay. Yeah, it just feels like it doesn't feel like it's one thing. It just feels like you're constantly having to explain or defend yourself. And I just don't think, I think it's exhausting you, and I don't think it's warranted. But there's something about, I feel like you're going to learn something new, or you're even thinking about going back to school. Have you thought about mastering some other aspect, or acquiring some new skill for work?
Definitely. I've thought about it quite a few times about going back to school, do better.
Okay. So here's what I'm going to say. Just on the professional front, I actually think you do go back to get some additional certification. I don't feel like it's a long duration. Like, I don't think you go back to school for years, but I think that there's something that you can study and learn in like 6 weeks. And I feel like that propels you into a new professional path, and you actually leave your current role. Now, it doesn't mean you leave. Yeah, it doesn't mean you leave the company or whatever if you want to stay there, but I feel like you definitely change jobs. And I feel like you can have all of the education or certification and information that you need, and into your new role really by August is how it feels to me. It feels like late summer is how it feels. Does that help with one of the... Yeah, go ahead.
No, I can wait. I can do what I need to do, and I can wait.
Okay. Yep. So whatever arena that you're contemplating, I would just say follow your intuition. Usually our decisions in life, things that we enjoyed as a child, the feedback that we get from friends, family, or coworkers, there's usually some hints about what we're really naturally good at and what we enjoy. So don't be shy about kind of revisiting what people are always complimenting you on, or what is the thing you wanted to be when you were a child, and just think a little bit harder about that option. But I do feel like you go back to school in a certification educational way, but it's not years. I also think you have the money to do it, right? You have the funds or the means or the support to get that knowledge. But I really think that changes things for you professionally. And I think it does bring in more money in the long run.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Have you, I feel like, have you thought about doing anything in health and wellness?
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely.
Because I feel like I'm getting some sort of homeopathic health wellness sort of certification, and, you know, no judgment on what life you live or not, but I don't partake in certain things, but the energy that I get is more, you know, like the CBD stuff, the microdosing stuff. Like, I think there's some legal element of just sort of natural healing agents that you're curious about and you may explore as part of your health and wellness. Does that make sense for you?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, cool. Any other, you want me to try to jump? You want me to try to jump into one or two more things real quick?
Sure.
Okay. I don't know. So I feel like one of the areas may be around, I want to say family and community. So the energy that I'm getting is that for you to be happiest, I think you really recognize that you have a purpose and a desire to serve others. And so you may not pick that as the primary work that you do. Like, you can still be a healer, right? But I feel like there's something above and beyond that you may want to do in your community. So I just want to encourage you to, think about getting involved in some nonprofits, or perhaps lending some of your expertise to a board or a committee in your community. Because I think there's some causes that are really important to you. And I think because you haven't gotten as involved with them, there's sort of this sense of, why am I here? What am I supposed to do? Does this make sense for you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And believe it or not, I feel like it's in an interfaith environment. I feel like it's a really diverse sort of organization. It may have interfaith or just a lot of cultural diversity. But I just want you to think about that. I think it would give you a lot of meaning to what you're trying to accomplish. Okay. And I would say, just finally, don't let other people bring you down. So just, even with boyfriends or negative Nellies at work, or, you know, maybe it's those helpful family members that are giving you too much advice. I just want you to continue to embrace the faith and belief that you have, that all of these things are going to work out. I know it's cloudy right now, but I think you'll be surprised. Things are really going to start becoming clear. And I hope our time together during this call has offered a little bit clarity to get you started as we kick off Aries.
No, it's offered a lot.
Good. That's great. I wish you the very best, and it's been so wonderful chatting with you. Have a great spring, and I hope you join us again next week.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. So I think we have Casey with us now. Casey, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hi, Casey. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. I feel like, are you tired?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, no, I feel like, you're carrying a lot. I feel like you have either been working too much, you're kind of wearing yourself down, you're just taking on too much. And I feel like part of that is also taking care of other people. Does this make sense for you?
Yes, it does.
Yeah. So number one, I'm sorry. I know what it's like to be exhausted, and I know what it's like to kind of carry the burdens and the efforts just to help others. So don't neglect yourself. Okay. This is a good time, right, to make some space and let go of kind of overcommitting. Have you had a dream recently about some events happening in your life?
Yes, I actually have.
Okay. I feel like there's something about this dream that you've had. One, I think it's repeating in your mind. It feels like it's something that you keep trying to figure out what it means. So I don't know if you're looking for clarity on that dream. I just feel like there's an important dream that you've had. Do you want me to try to give you a little bit of clarity energetically?
Yes, that would be perfect.
Oh, okay. So I do think you're right that the dream is as significant as you think. Don't get caught up in the details so much of the dream. And I know it's tempting to kind of dive into every symbol, but I want you to pay attention to how you felt in the dream. But first and foremost, recognize I feel like you have the gift of prophecy. I think you get information in your dreams about future events. Do you find that happen?
Yes.
Okay. This particular dream, I don't think is one of those situations. Okay. I think this dream has a different purpose for you. So whatever happened in the dream, I don't want you to worry about, oh my gosh, that thing's going to happen and now I need to do X, Y, and Z. But I feel like this dream has something to do with you evaluating how you are investing yourself in the goals and the areas in your life that you're trying to progress. So just like I sensed immediately that you were really tired, I feel like this dream is telling you, hey, are you really, are you surrounding yourself with the best people, right? Are you spending your time in the most meaningful areas? Are you talking kindly to yourself? Are you taking care of yourself? Are you prioritizing your health just like you're prioritizing the health of other people? Does this make sense for you at all?
Oh, yes, it does.
Oh, okay. Because I feel like that's really what this is. It's about you kind of pulling back for a moment and looking at each one of these kind of pieces of your life wheel and really asking whether or not you could make some improvements. And I think across the board, it's really about the quality, not quantity. If you took one phrase or one meaning out of that dream, focus on the quality, because I feel like you are burning yourself at both ends and it is not good for you. I feel like it's just going to wear you down and you're not of service to yourself or anyone else when you're depleted, when your cup is empty, so to speak. Does this make sense at all?
Yes.
Do you work in hospitality or food industry or something like that?
No, I'm kind of disabled right now.
Okay, that's okay. I'm a big in you are abled, I believe in able-bodied folks. I know sometimes the world uses those words that say we're not capable of doing things, but I have no doubt that you have a lot that you contribute in many, many ways. I sense that there is some sort of event that is around food, entertainment. It doesn't feel like it's celebratory, but it feels like it's more of a gathering of family. So I don't know if you live away from kind of the area where you were raised, but I'll refer to this as the feeling of going back home and spending time with family. Does this make sense for you at all?
Yes.
Okay, so I feel like you will go back home, wherever home is. Sometimes home is where the heart is. Sometimes geographically, it's, just a distance away. But I feel like you will go home. I feel you're surrounded by family. I feel like there's also a new relationship or a renewed relationship. So I don't know if you're going to be meeting someone for the first time, let's say if a relative has gotten married or someone has a new boyfriend or something like that, I feel like that there may be a new addition to the family. Does that make sense for you?
Yes.
Okay. So, but I feel like the addition is good. So if someone has a new partner or mate, I think you will like them and you will get along. It feels like the time with family is positive. But I would just say, just be mindful, of the time and energy that you're putting in to these other areas. I also feel like there's possibly some change around your living circumstance. Usually the energy is either there's some sort of reconfiguring or change in the home that's needed, or this is actually like you thinking about moving. Are you thinking about moving?
Yes, I am.
Okay. I feel like you move. I'm just trying to, I'm getting like May. I'm just getting the month of May. I don't know what your plans are. I feel like you have your eyes on something, but I don't know. I feel like you're going to have more options. So you may know the opportunity in front of you, and that may be the catalyst that's getting you excited about moving. But I do feel a move. I feel the month of May. I don't know why I'm getting May 2nd. I don't know what the second significance is, but I'm getting like a month of May 2nd is the energy. But I feel like you will have additional options presented to you before you make the final move. Does this make sense?
Yes.
Okay. And I also feel if part of this involves, kind of a significant amount of money that you have to put down, or if you're actually buying a home, I feel like there's a lump sum money that comes to you to make this move happen. Are you looking for some extra financial support to make this move, or are you looking something more substantive to come through financially to help this happen?
Yes, I'm trying.
Okay, I think it will be there. So if this is something that you've been worried about, I do feel it feels, it's strange. It's somewhere between a loan and a gift. It feels a little bit informal, but it feels like it is an offering or a support in a lump sum amount from someone that you know. It doesn't mean it's a family member giving you money to make this happen, but it could even be like, oh, you have a nice relationship with the person at the bank, and they're like, oh, sure, you've been a great customer, right? We can give you this small amount. But it feels like there's a connection there. I feel like the money will be there. The move will happen, but just know, I feel like there's going to be more options on the table. And I think that the additional options help you feel more relief just about the financial circumstances down the road. Does this make sense for you?
Yes.
Okay. And then I think kind of the other thing that I would mention, Casey, I do feel like you're waiting for some information or a response. Are you waiting for a yes or message from someone to come through to you?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So I feel like the message is going to come. It feels like it's from a female. Is it from a female that you're waiting to hear from?
No.
Okay. So what I feel like the message ties to a female, just so you know, that's the energy around it. I feel like the message comes in, but I feel like you've been waiting for a long time for the message. Does that resonate?
Actually, yes, it does.
Okay. So it feels like, and if I had to say just final kind of details on this, it feels like whatever the message is, it somehow for me feels like it relates to a woman. It may be related to someone who was sick, something along those lines, or some sort of legal issue about the woman that was sick. Does this make sense at all? I know it sounds very strange, but does it make sense to you?
I'm not sure.
Okay, that's okay. Just all I know is this. Your message is coming, okay? Don't give up. I know you're tired. I feel like the delay or something has to do with this woman that feels sick, or there's some sort of hoop that someone has been jumping through in order to get the message to you. So whatever, if it's bureaucracy, if it's an approval, I feel like you get the information and it is positive in your favor. Okay.
Okay.
Does this help you at all, Casey?
Honestly, yes, it does a lot.
Oh, good. Okay. Stay encouraged. I say just go forward. Aries is a great time. Be courageous. Be bold. You've got spring on your side, all the momentum, but you've got to get some rest. I just feel like you're over worrying or you're overextending yourself and you need to get some rest because you got a lot of stuff to pack. Right?
Yeah, that's true. I do need to get some rest.
Yeah, you need to get some rest. But thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you keep me posted on all the progress. I would love to hear once you're all settled in your new place.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Take good care.
You too.
Okay. Well, I don't know about all of you, but that was a jam-packed session. So I'm just going to say, I want all of you to have just an amazing spring. Don't forget to write down your affirmations and intentions, seal them in that envelope and place it somewhere really special. And just don't try to control how things unfold. Just trust that it will. Thank you again. Until next time, trust yourself, let the magic unfold. And I'm wishing you a beautiful and blessed spring.
to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, Enlightening Television. Welcome. Time for Mystic Medicine with Dr. Nikisha Faye. Dr. Nikisha Faye. Live from drnikki.com. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv. This is Mystic Medicine on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hello, everybody. I hope you are having a wonderful week so far. Dr. Nikisha Faye here, mystic mentor, wisdom teacher, intuitive guide, divine light channel. So I was sitting with my beautiful guides just before, reflecting on, what we'd like to share about today. And, given that, if not all of you, perhaps, that have come to this transmission who engage with this group are interested in intuition. And, intuition is really fascinating in that we all have it. And there can be this misnomer that we're not gifted, we can't do it. But the truth is that it is our innate ability. It is something that is within all of us because it is us. And a lot of the self-doubts, what I call faulty programming that we acquire through our lives about being separate to our higher self, being separate to our inner world, simply isn't true. We are already our higher self. And it's creating the conditions to attune to that deeper layer of ourselves that allows us to connect with intuitive information. And so I'm often asked, how do you do it? And to create the conditions to come into alignment so that we can attune to the information is like tuning a radio. We need to have the dial on the right frequency to pick up the wavelength that we're plugging into. And so how we affect our frequency is by what we think and feel. Like, it's pretty much that simple. How we think and feel creates our frequency. And because we're not taught to be self-aware, because we're not taught to even acknowledge our emotions, that a lot of the time our subconscious has its way with us. Like, we believe that we're all the problems that we have. We believe that we're not capable. We believe we're not lovable. All of the different untruths that can be stuck in our subconscious is what creates the dulled frequency. And all of these heavier type of what I call densities, or slower vibrating thought forms, lower frequency information, is what keeps us separate from our beautiful higher self and higher frequency information. It's not that it's not there, and it's not that we can't connect in with it, because it is already us. It's just we get so much stuck in this and don't even realize we're stuck in this, because it becomes what we're used to, it's often how we've grown up and how our family grew up and our family's family grew up and our family's family grew up with, particular beliefs about all of those things that aren't in alignment with who we truly be as our, higher self-beingness. And so as we allow ourselves to meet the thoughts and beliefs that make us feel bad, it's not hard to identify when, we're not feeling good, what's making us not feel good, but not looking outside of us, like what within us is not making us feel good, that we can start to, unpack some of those layers and, identify where they're not true. They're not benefiting us. Like they are a truth in a way that it's a way that we've been living maybe all of our lives, all of our ancestors' lives, but it's not the truth. It's not the ultimate truth that you are your higher self as well. You're not stuck in all of this milieu of problems. They might be there, but this is also here. But we're not taught about this. We're not taught about the freedom and how we can untangle ourselves from this reality by allowing this reality to come more into being. And so breathing into that and just noticing how that feels for you. And noticing if there is any resistance or any, tension around that at all, where you might feel that in your body. And as you breathe into it, asking what it's here to share with you. What is it here to share with you to help you create change? That's why we have these beliefs that then create the scenarios. It's not actually the other way around. We often think that it's the situations that create how we feel. But what ultimately begins the story is how we feel that then creates the outside world. There's a lot of more and more information coming out about the laws of energy and how energy works. And energy literally magnetizes itself. And so when we are in situations that we may not be happy with, that aren't really a match to our beautiful higher self-beingness or our beautiful heart and soul's desires, we have the opportunity to create change around that. And how the reason that energy magnetizes itself is to show us what's actually happening. And so when we're feeling, bad about something on the inside, we attract those situations to us, not to make us suffer, but to help us create change. And unfortunately, we're just not taught that. And, so these things that come into our lives that are seemingly problematic, and whilst they feel really, really intense and terrible while it's happening, there's a gift in that for us to create change, for us to be able to shift the internal world so that the external shifts. And this is just how energy operates. It's the laws of the universe, you know, and unfortunately we're never told that. I'm going to go to a beautiful caller in a moment, but I really felt that if you are interested in learning more about the laws of the universe or hearing more and having a beautiful embodying process, I am running a circle group on this Saturday coming up for the new moon, solar eclipse energy as well. And we're going to firstly share a transmission about the laws of energy to really support you to find liberation more easily. Because the main problem is that we just don't know this stuff. And, you know, once we know, we can then become empowered to create our lives differently. And so if you're interested in joining me in Circle, it's a live circle. There'll be a recording afterwards as well. Just reach out. I can send you some more information about that. Or if you pop on my website and you scroll down to the bottom, I always have the upcoming events and things like that. And so I'd love to connect with you in person one day if that's something that resonates with you. So we have Dee here. Dee from Brooklyn, New York. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Lovely to have you here joining us.
Yeah, I'm here.
What would you like to bring forward today? Did you have something particularly?
General, what this my boyfriend's getting on my nerves. He keeps nagging me for money and stuff, but he have a drug habit.
Yeah.
He called me this morning about money. I'm going to regret it. I don't know what he mean by that. And it's like really stressing me out because I've been working and then I quit. And it's like he want me underneath him, but I can't. There's too much stress, so I'm trying to pull away for a while.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to take a moment just to tune in to your energy and just see what would like to come forward.
Okay.
And so what I'm sensing is there's a whole lot of distortion, or there's a whole lot of disharmony in the energy around you. And usually when I see that in the energy around, it's energy that's stuck in the nervous system. So it's stuck creating stress. But what it feels like is it's a lot of other people's stuff.
Yeah, it is. But it's more him, my uncle, my sister. It's my daughter,
and so it feels like
it's too much.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. It feels like all of this energy of everybody else's that you're carrying. It's almost like your beautiful, kind heart is there supporting people around you, but at the same time, you're taking on their energy or taking on their problems.
They burden, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so what happens when that happens is all of your nervous system is getting so filled up with everybody else's stuff that it's making it difficult for you to not be stressed. Even when things might not be stressy, you're actually carrying this remnants of everybody else's stress. And so what's really important for you is to take some time for yourself.
That's what I'm doing. I've been staying away for a while from my boyfriend. I took like almost 3 weeks away from him because he keeps manipulating me and nonsense. You don't love me. No, and I do love him. He's accusing me of cheating. He accusing me when he want money, I supposed to give to him. No, that's not how that works.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, all of this all of this energy that you're holding of other people's, I'm going to share a really beautiful process with you that you can use to help to clear your energy field. Does that sound good?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Right. So what you might do is imagine that you're somewhere in nature. Do you have a favorite place that you like to go?
I like to go around water.
The water?
Yeah, the water or park, something like that. I like water. I have to go to Roseland Island where the water at, but the other, yeah.
Yeah. So what we'll do is we're going to go on a little journey.
Okay.
And so I'll get for you to imagine that you're walking on a pathway.
Mm-hmm.
Are you able to see a pathway or be aware that there's a pathway?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So as you walk along the pathway, notice it winding.
Mm-hmm.
And it starts to make its way down towards the beach, a beautiful ocean. And on the side of the ocean, there's a beautiful grove of trees. And as you start to walk over towards the trees, there's one of them that has a beautiful grassy knoll just right at its base, the perfect place for you to sit and lean your back up against the tree. Are you able to connect with that?
I used to do that too. I used to do that in the summertime.
Yeah, definitely. And if you can get outside, you can do this outside as well, if you can get in nature. But if you can't, it's good you can just imagine it as well because it works the same. And so as you imagine you're resting your back up against the tree, just becoming aware of your energy field. See if you can notice where your energy field is sitting around your body. It might be close or far out.
Now my headache went away.
Yeah, so imagining that field and then imagining the outside rim of that field. We call that the etheric rim. And from that rim, now imagining cords coming out of that rim and going down into the earth, right into the light in the center of the earth. Are you able to connect with that?
Mm-hmm.
And so what these etheric cords are doing is acting like a little vacuum.
Mm-hmm.
And they're gently drawing that energy, all of that energy in your energy field that's not yours.
Mm-hmm.
And as you breathe and relax, just relaxing, feeling the earth beneath you and feeling that beautiful tree supporting you. And those etheric cords are clearing the energy, and just clearing all of that energy that's not yours. And recognizing that it's not yours to carry either.
Mm-hmm.
And as you anchor and soften a little more into the beautiful grass and that tree that's holding you, how does that feel for you?
Oh, good.
Yeah. And just simply, can you even soften a little more, feeling that energy of support, feeling that tree really holding you and the earth holding you, that beautiful soft grass.
Mm-hmm.
And all of that energy just falling away out of your energy field, going down into the earth to be shifted back to light.
Mm-hmm.
Doing really well. Just taking a few more breaths here. Just let the tears flow. It's beautiful. We're just letting go of all of the old, all of that stuff that it's not serving you.
Right. I've been crying lately too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's good. Just allowing it all to fall away.
Yeah, and I have a purple candle, lavender candle, right here in the middle of my floor. I'm believing in candles and praying.
Yeah. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's all this the stuff that's other people's, it's not yours. And as you allow all that,
I had this since I was 13.
Yeah. You just allow all of that to fall away. And as it falls away, it allows more space for your true being to be present. The truth of who you are. I'll get you to come into your heart space. And as you imagine you're breathing in and out through your heart space, are you able to connect with that?
Yes.
And as you continue to breathe in and out of your heart space, it's bringing your awareness right into the very, very center of your heart.
Mm-hmm.
And seeing a beautiful candle in there. Beautiful candle.
The purple one, right in the middle of my floor. Yeah, I light it every night, and I blows it out after 12.
Yeah, just imagining that beautiful candlelight glowing deep within you.
And it smells good.
And as you breathe into it, it becomes brighter and more vibrant. And it's activating that remembering your light. That you're this beautiful light. This is the real you, this beautiful light.
Mm. And I'm lighting it every day. No dark marks. It's nothing but clear, the glass.
Yeah. And just keep breathing into your beautiful light and welcoming it forward.
Okay. Oh, it's moving.
Yeah.
It's like somebody blown into it. What's going on?
Yeah. And you just, as you keep breathing into it, it's growing and expanding.
It looks like getting higher.
See if you can get that to fill all of your heart space with this beautiful light.
Mm-hmm.
And this beautiful light is you. Allowing yourself to receive that. That remembering that this is the real you.
Okay. My favorite color is purple. My candle is always got to be purple.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's a very high frequency color.
Mm-hmm.
So we might weave some of that in. So as you imagine your light, just weaving a beautiful purple spiral through the light in your heart space.
Mm-hmm.
And this purple light is bringing with it insight, the power of insight for you. So you can connect in with your heart and know what's right for you and what isn't.
All right.
And as you breathe into that, allow yourself to receive that from your inner wisdom, your deepest truth, that knowing of what's right for you and what isn't.
Mm-hmm.
And just breathing that in as deeply as you can. And so this practice is one that you can use as often as you like. Just take yourself to a tree or imagine you're at a tree. Really sit at the tree, resting back. Allow all of the other people's stuff to leave down the etheric cords just to clear your energy field first. And then come into your beautiful heart space. Connect with your light. Bring your light forward. Weave the purple energy into your beautiful heart space. And as you sit in that energy, you can connect with your highest self wisdom. And so whenever you're unsure of what to do, sit with your highest self and you will know. Just breathing into that. How's that feeling for you?
I feel great. Because I usually
play with the sparkles. More sparkles. That's it. Sit with the sparkles. So what we're going to do is we're just going to pull up your etheric cords. We've got like 60 seconds before I have to go. I'm going to get it. We're getting booted off. But you just pull up those etheric cords. Thank the beautiful tree. Thank your beautiful self. Thank the beautiful ocean that's just over the edge. And then walking back along the path. And then walking all the way back into the seat where you are, wherever you're seated in the now. And as you take your time and bringing any gentle movements back, as you bring yourself back into the moment, bring your beautiful light woven with the purple with you, because you can invoke it whenever you like for you to hold that and know your truth. You can
to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, Enlightening Television. Welcome. Time for Welcome Your Woo with Psychic Sarah Jane. Live from SarahJanePatton.com. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, Facebook.com/Psychic Radio. Or one of our websites, AskOneRadio.com or Moonstruck.tv. This is Welcome Your Woo on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hello and welcome to Welcome Your Woo with Psychic Sarah Jane. You guys, I got my fun little springtime hat on. You guys, there's nothing better than like wearing a hat that just makes you feel really good, right? So I was that girl back in the 90s that used to wear the hats from the show Blossom. Now I'm telling my age because I am 45, but I own that proudly. And I really do love a good hat. Plus, if you are open to your woo, you'll know that we use our crown chakra to connect to the spiritual realms. And this is a way to help contain that information if you get overloaded, because your girl over here has that experience quite often. I get so much information and so many downloads sometimes that it's a lot. So if I put something to cover my crown, it helps with the pressure and all the information coming in. But it's also cute. It's just really fun. And I've been really just playing in the field of possibility, exploring my inner child, letting her have fun. I feel like my video is creating some glare with the sun over here. I'm not sure which way to go. We're just going to leave it, not worry about it, and trust that it'll be just fine. So you guys, today I have some things I want to talk about. Oh my goodness. Let's talk about how the veil is really thin right now. The veil is so thin. What does that mean? That means that that line that is between the physical and this current 3D dimension that we are experiencing is also merging with the spiritual realms. So that line that's between the two worlds is very thin right now. And what that means for the collective is many of us are receiving divine downloads and lots of information, psychic abilities, connection, telepathy. So if you have been having experiences, say perhaps that you are thinking about your friend or thinking about your mom, and then literally within minutes or sometimes even seconds, they are calling you or texting you. This is amplified right now. It's on another level, which is exciting because more people are waking up to their psychic abilities. Remember, we entered into the age of Aquarius. That means nothing will be the same. That means we are leveling up into a place where we actually break free from this matrix. We break free from the illusion and we start to step into who we actually are and what we came for. And I want to share something with you. I want to share a little bit of my personal journey and an experience that I had over the last, I would say, well, this journey has been forever, my whole life, but the last year and a half specifically. So I'm going to talk a little bit about plant medicine and how it can support your woo and how it can open your psychic abilities and do so many other things. I come from a corporate space of what I like to reference pharmaceuticals. I accidentally, which I don't believe in accidents, so it wasn't an accident, called pharmaceuticals. And I started thinking about it. I was like, well, from my perspective, it kind of is that because actually the oils and the tinctures, the plants, the crystals are our pharmaceuticals, the things that come from the earth. When you think of pharmaceutical, think of FARM. Does it grow? Yes, crystals grow in the ground, like they're created from the components within the earth. So when you think about humanity shifting, and you think about how the average human is accessing 10% of their brain, but did you know that psychics are accessing more? Did you know that I don't believe in neurodivergency? I like to call it neuroefficiency. It's a different way of compartmentalizing information. And because the old systems that we've created for ourselves don't allow us to express it in an authentic, unique way for it to be utilized at its full capacity, I'm helping to bring awareness into the world about how this is actually a gift and how the plant medicines can support us in the journey. A year and a half ago, after a very long-term relationship, I separated from my partner, and it was very difficult. And it's the deepest grief I've ever experienced. I thought I understood grief until I went through this experience, and I needed to go through it. I got to discover and learn so many things. I often say some of our greatest gifts are wrapped in poo. They don't always look bright and shiny, but if we can extract out the golden nuggets, they're there for you to receive. In this experience, in that relationship, I don't see it as a loss. I see it as one of my greatest gains. And while we may not be together as a couple any longer, I can pull out and extract the golden nuggets. And what I discovered in that relationship was my self-worth. And there's no value I could ever place on that. So it was such a powerful relationship to have danced in for 11 years and taught me so much. And through that grief, I was able to use plant medicine, cannabis specifically, to support my depression, my anxiety, and the overwhelm that I had as we were moving through the physical separation of the home and the one that we all struggle with when we go through a separation like that, the division of finances. And so it was creating a lot of fear. Where am I going to live? What's it going to look like on the other side of this? Will I be able to navigate this? And so the plant medicine was something that I, before this point, had only utilized as a sleep aid. I am a mother of 6 in 2014. After working for that pharmaceutical company, I was on the pharmaceuticals, or like I was calling them, pharmaceuticals, and I was taking prescription medication for sleep aid. And it was suggested that perhaps I could stop taking that and I could have some plant medicine, some cannabis to support my sleep. So that was in 2014. I worked in corporate. It wasn't allowed. I had to be quiet. And now I live in Missouri and it is legal here for medicinal and rec. That makes me very happy. The reason being is because I am so clear and how it's such a powerful catalyst to supporting self-care and specifically helping women. There's an activation that occurs when we dance with the medicine, and it helps us to embody our feminine energy. And I joined a group called the STL Canna Moms last year when I was looking for other like-minded individuals and where I could share in my cannabis consumption without the shame and the stigma that went around it. Little did I know that would open many doorways, many pathways and opportunities have come from this. And this past weekend, I attended, it was the weekend before last, so not quite 2 weeks ago, I attended a STL Canna Mom event. We had Canna Bingo, and CNN was there to cover this. And that let me know truly the significance and the recognition that this is getting and the power that we can have to actually support moms and humanity overall. Yesterday, it aired. The clip and the 4-minute interview and coverage of that experience aired on CNN, and my STL Canna Moms were posting all over Facebook. There's a spot during the interview where there's me sitting at the table. I didn't consume at the event because I was on a canna break. I wanted to reestablish my relationship with it, so I took a 30-day break. And I was so supported by the canna moms sitting around me. They're like, oh, would you like some? And I said, no, I'm on a canna break. And they were cheering me on. No one was like, well, what are you doing here? They were like, that's amazing that you're on a break, but you still came. And I was like, yeah, I want to be with my people because I feel seen and supported. And this is my act of self-care. I'm the self-care oracle. I teach people how to love themselves and to nurture themselves. And here I am aligned with another group of people that are doing the same thing. And little did I know that that interview would air. And I'm sitting there casually playing, showing up in my fun hat and my goddess energy because I've been loving all of me and feeling really great about myself and just being in my authentic truth and expression and my essence. And the caption underneath blew my mind when I got the screenshot of the picture of me in the scene, because it literally said the word self-care under it. And I identify and call myself the self-care oracle. Those are the signs and synchronicities that we welcome when we welcome our woo into our space. Everything is code. And if you can begin to see the signs and synchronicities and put the puzzle pieces together, there's a story to be told. And I uncovered my story. I had pieces dropping in over the last couple of years, but there were pieces and holes that were missing, and it all became so clear yesterday. And I had this powerful breakthrough and understanding what was going on. And this is what I have to say. It was the spark that lit the movement. I am on a mission with my movement, United We Lead, to create global wealth and global health. This is how we heal the planet. I began selling drops with a company called partner.co, homeopathic drops that help support your body in so many ways. And I got to thinking, this is how we create the health and the wealth. It's by creating work that is not in a structure that makes us feel drained, overutilized, underpaid, exhausted, depressed. We create systems and services that support us for the highest good, that allows us to thrive in our gifts and to support the overall well-being of humanity. We utilize resources that allow us to simplify things. There's a lot of negative connotation around AI, but if you actually use AI for the highest good, you can change the whole world. So I'm excited to gather the people. I'm hosting an event locally here in St. Louis, April 5th, activating the Army of Light, those that came to help create the shift and the change. And I've never felt more aligned or more excited about it. And I want to welcome in all those that seek to create change. And I'm just going to flat out say, I need support. So if this feels like something that is calling your heart and you want to know more about it, please reach out to me. I want to have conversations. I want to hear from you. Find me on Facebook, Sarah Jane Patton, or my Facebook group is Welcome Your Woo, with Psychic Sarah Jane, or you can email me at welcomeyourwoo@gmail.com. This mission is on my heart so big that I will continue to show up in whatever platform and spaces that I can for my voice to be heard and amplified. I don't believe in coincidences, and being in this space and on this platform, I know is going to help create massive change for the entire world, and I'm here for it. So I'm going to take a moment to pull a card for the collective and see what the message is for us based on the information I've just shared. And then I'm going to take our first caller. All right, we've got 2 cards here. Akasha, your guidance is divinely guided. The signs and synchronicities let us know that those are the divine codes coming through that are the messages from the spiritual realms. We are being guided from outside of this physical experience, but it's a matter of paying attention. So right now, the message that I have for anyone and everyone listening is pay attention more than you ever have about the signs and synchronicities and start writing them down. They're here to tell you a story. So if you start seeing repetitive numbers, symbols, signs, songs, synchronistic to your thoughts, your card pulls, document them and figure out what your guides are trying to tell you. The second card we have is Imrama. Where are you being called to journey to? And this just validates the invitation that I put out forth to you a moment ago, saying if you feel called to this, this is double validation. If you feel called to hear more about what I have to say, if you feel called to know more about my mission and know me as a person and what I came to do, this is your sign to follow that. What are you being called to journey to? Trust the cards. They don't lie. They always tell the truth. I'll do one more as a final closeout for it. Deep replenishment, retreat, rest, be held. Self-care is the catalyst to healing the planet. That's what I teach, is how to put your self-care first. We as women especially don't always know how to prioritize that when we are providers and givers to so many others. We don't know how to nurture ourselves. And guess what? I'm a mom of 6 and I've mastered this. And I'm here to show everyone else how to do it. Whether you're a mom or not, whether you're a woman or not, I'm here to show everyone, because everyone has the opportunity to fall completely in love with themselves. And imagine what the world would look like if we all loved ourselves. So with that being said, I'll go ahead and take our caller. Joining us right now is Alexis in East Chicago, Indiana. Hi, Alexis. I don't know if we're having a glitch issue. I do not hear Alexis yet. Alrighty, well, while we wait, let's see what the mermaids have to say. We're having a technical difficulty, which your girl over here has been experiencing lots of electronic interference, and I just have to roll with it. When you're vibing so high, you're going to interfere with the electronics, y'all. It's the truth. What do the mermaids have to say to us today? Hi, Alexis from East Chicago, Indiana.
Where did we go to? Oh.
Hi, Alexis. Can you hear me? I think we are still having a technical. All right. I think we're going to go to a different caller, you guys. Give me just a moment. Let's see what the mermaids have to say. Be spontaneous. Well, guess what? Sometimes we got to just roll with the things, you guys. We have to be in flow, but being spontaneous is about letting that inner child out, allowing yourself to be curious, to be playful, like seeing what's available to you through that childlike wonder and that sense of playfulness and curiosity. It's a great way to support your self-care. Mystery. The mysteries are revealing themselves with the codes that I just mentioned, bringing through all of those divine codes. The blueprints are being revealed is what I'm being told. So we are uncovering and remembering actually who we were. So if you're starting to remember your past lives, that is an activation that has been amplified out to the planet right now. I am one that is experiencing that on another level. I've been experiencing my life as a witch in Ireland. So back in the day, definitely a thing. You know why we're experiencing those past lives and why they're coming through? Because we are breaking free. That's the next card I have here is we're breaking free. We're breaking those chains. Did you know that your body is actually made up of more than 70% water? It's more like 95% water. And water holds memory. Water holds codes, okay? It knows. That means if your body is made up of that much water and you've had multiple lives, it remembers the past lives. Your conscious mind may not remember, but your subconscious and your body actually does. So as we move through these experiences and the past lives are coming through, it's because we're breaking free from the trauma that kept us from stepping into our full power. And so that memory is surfacing so that we can break free and not allow those things to stop us anymore. Okay, let's move to another caller. It looks like we have Wendy in Mississippi. Hi, Wendy. Hi, Wendy. Can you hear me? It looks like you guys, we're just going to have tech issues. I'm only giggling because, like, I've experienced so much of this lately that all I can do is laugh and roll with it. I can't even get upset or mad about it. I'm just vibing so high that it's such interference. So, Wendy, are you here? If not, I will just keep rolling with what I'm doing here. I'm hearing the song. I just pulled this, right? Breaking Free. I'm hearing the song, break on through to the other side, break on through to the other side. That's some Doors music going on. My clairaudience likes to come through his music. That's actually one of the ways, you guys, we receive codes and downloads and information is through song and music and your clairaudience. Let's see what the cards have to say about that. I don't think we're having callers today. It's not working, and it's okay. I'm rolling with it. Magic. Oh, it's magic, you know. I'm hearing that song as well because the magic is happening all around us right now. In order to really receive the magic, you have to know it's unfolding. Yes, we start to doubt it, but it is the signs and the synchronicities that will begin to show you how it's so magical, and it will help reveal the story. But trust in the magic, because this is where the fun is at. Your little inner child doesn't need to know how it was done. If you told a child that they were going to receive $5 million tomorrow, they would say, oh my gosh, where can I go spend it? I'm going to buy this. I'm going to do this. They will never stop to ask you how they're getting it. You know why? Because their mind doesn't need to know how. They trust that it's coming and believe that it is. It's only when they start to perceive the illusion and they take on the limiting beliefs and the projections of others and the false identities that they start to see the limitation and believe that they have to know how it's coming. You don't have to know the how. FTH, forget the how. Or there's another word you can plug in there too. I know you can think of that word that starts with an F that is a way to also say that, okay? If you want to get real in your power and energy about it, forget the how. The how doesn't matter. It's your why. It's your why and your attention behind it. And here's the key to manifesting. This is a breakthrough I had yesterday. Okay, we've been taught about the law of attraction, the law of assumption, all the universal laws to support us in manifesting, but we don't talk about the intention behind it. If you want to manifest at a rapid fire speed, be sure, be so clear that the intention that you're coming from is coming from a place of love. If your intention is coming from love, it is more likely to manifest because it's inevitable. If you're coming from love, if you're coming from greed, if you're coming from scarcity, if you think you have to manifest it because you aren't going to be able to survive if you don't make your house payment or have food, if you're coming from that energy, you're operating and manifesting out of scarcity and it doesn't work. You have to operate out of a knowing and believing that it's possible and manifest out of love. Let's see what else the cards have to say. Oh, awareness. Awareness is everything. And that's what's happening. All of these new codes, these new information, these divine downloads are coming into our awareness right now. And what happens when it comes into our awareness? That's the most magical moment, because once it comes into your awareness, it becomes a choice. It's no longer sitting in the subconscious, it's in the conscious mind, and it now becomes a choice, and you get to choose. And sometimes we get to choose over and over and over again. But this is how we break the cycles the chains that have kept us stuck. We're breaking free from that. Remember, we got the breaking free card just a moment ago, but your awareness is everything. So look for those signs and synchronicities, pull your cards, use your pendulum. The divination tools are here to support you. And I'm specifically talking about Oracle. Don't get me wrong. Tarot's amazing and it has its place. But right now, the collective is being called to lean on your Oracle cards. Those have pre-channeled messages in a book that you can go reference and look in there and read the message for you. And I promise, whatever the message is in that book for you, it's for you. It's a validation to what you're going through or an indicator of what you need to know, or perhaps triggers a thought that leads you into the healing that is needed. These are powerful tools, accessible very easily to people, and I encourage you to utilize them. I'm also being told to remind the collective right now that if there were two crystals that you should be working with right now, it is rose quartz and clear quartz. Rose quartz is encoded into the Mama Gaia and the earthly energy and the code of 23. I'm going to be talking more about this. That is part of the tree of life. Whew. It's a lot of energy to process and move through and taking all of this in, but it's very important. So pay attention to the rose quartz, and the clear quartz is an amplifier, especially if you work with Lemurian clear quartz. These are amplifiers. The clear quartz can amplify anything. It can amplify your cards. It can amplify your healing if you do energy work. It can amplify the work of the other crystals. So you can use clear quartz to amplify the rose quartz if you're working to heal, especially your heart. Many of us have broken hearts from this lifetime and past lives. And right now, the heart's being called to be nurtured and loved. Let's see what other messages we have, because we will be closing out in a few minutes. And it doesn't appear that we'll have a caller today, and that's all right. We tried. Memories. The past memories are coming online. You are going to remember your past lives. They are being activated. You will have glimpses of it in dreams. You will be doing something and suddenly you remember something. You'll have an injury from this lifetime that suddenly you'll have a knowing or an observation of a past life where you had a similar injury. Sometimes we have them over and over again. Why? Because the memory is within the body. It's in the coding of the water that's held within the body. We often recreate it. See what else there is to say. I'm shuffling cards. Sometimes they fly right out. Sometimes it takes a moment. Oh, yeah, that one flew. Go with the flow. Go with the flow. This is validating our divine feminine energy right now, that we're really being called to work in our flow. In order to be in flow, we have to create our solid foundation and our structure, though. So get clear on who your legs of support are. Get clear on your financial support, because your finances is part of your support and your foundation. Your flow is your spiritual connection, your intuition. It is your ability to dance as things shift and move. And when you lay the solid foundation, you can go with the flow. All right, you guys, I am super excited to have been here today to share all of this with you. Please make sure you go follow me on all the platforms, because I'm making waves and big things are coming. I'm excited to launch my brand partnership with partner.co. These drops are helping so many people. Please make sure you ask me about them. They can help you lose weight, lower your cortisone levels. There's so many different things I could tell you about it, but it's absolutely here to support humanity on a level that I know can create health, and I'm not going to stop talking about it. And I'm going to keep connecting this to the woo. So thank you so much for being here. Until next time, you guys, I will see you next Tuesday. Bye for now.
Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome. And now, Reverend Elliot's Magical Window with Reverend Elliot. Live from magic-works.com. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, ask1radio.com or moonstruck.tv. This is Reverend Elliot's Magical Window on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Greetings, fellow seekers of truth, wisdom, and light. This is Reverend Elliot coming to you live tonight from the city of New York. Oh, listen to the crowds cheer. That's right out of the frame, so that's probably a cheesy effect, but I like it. We're here in springtime. Now I wasn't here last week, and I'll tell you why. And this is very important because there's a lot of arguments about when the seasons officially change. Is it the equinox? Is it the solstice? Is it the 20th? Is it the 21st? Well, I can tell you, the seasons change when I get a cold. It comes and goes like clockwork. As soon as the seasons change, I get sick. I start sneezing. I start. Forget it. You don't want to know. You don't want to know. So here we are getting together again for yet another show, and I'm looking forward to it because I'm trying to get used to the video stuff, which really is just me sitting here anyway, doing my thing the way I always did. You'll notice behind me some boxes. Now those are interesting because those are you ready for this? Those are books. And those are this is my combination studio and warehouse. The books that I mail out are there. So I have to say now, you guys have been very responsive, and I really appreciate it. I have to wait for a new set of 10 Lost Books of the Prophets to come in. Those are sold out at Amazon now, but I'll have replacements any day now. And the books are still available at I'm freaking myself out for some reason. The books are still available at the printing plant, and they cost less too, by the way, if you do it that way. So I recommend it. In the last couple of weeks, several people have bought all 10 books of the 10 Lost Books of the Prophets through the printing plant. You can find out how to do it at 10lostbooksoftheprophets.com. It's all one word. 10 Lost Books of the Prophets, one big long word.com, and you'll see everything you need to know there. And you can download a little information about it. But these are wonderful books. I still read them. I mean, tell you the truth, I bought, and why shouldn't I, right? Can you really trust anyone who starts out with to tell you the truth? What does that mean? That I've been lying to you for the last 14 years and now I'm going to come clean? No. I had a set from the 1930s of the 10 Lost Books of the Prophets, and they're very fragile. And the pages tear easily if you're not careful. And, it's a book from the 1930s. It's a set of 10 little books from the 1930s. So I very gingerly set about restoring them. I scanned them one by one, and I got to work manipulating the text to take out the typos and do all that. And I didn't really think about selling them. I did it for me. And then, of course, it dawned on me, dolt that I am, that other people might want these too. So now I have the only new sets of the 10 Lost Books of the Prophets, and especially one in hardcover. Now, they didn't even do that in the 1930s when these books were around. Over the years, I've bought and sold several sets of these books because I couldn't resist it. The prices were so low. They ain't low anymore. And now my books, the paperback books of the 10 Lost Books of the Prophets, are under $10 each, substantially under $10 each. Somebody is selling my books on eBay for about $27 each plus shipping. Now, if you see that, don't be tempted. I mean, it's got my company name on it. It says Mojo Brothers Books, but don't be fooled by that. They're not selling what I'm selling. And if they were, it's certainly not, I love the books and I think that they're priceless in many ways, but when you can get them for under $10 each, why would you want to spend $27 and change on each? It's just, you don't. So I understand all that. So I wouldn't do it either. So I did those books because of, that's why I do most of what I do in terms of publishing. It's books I'd like to read. We've got some new books coming up soon. And I want to talk to you about one book before we get into the calls tonight. And maybe I'll tell you a little bit about it bit by bit while we do the show. Because I've noticed an awful lot of anxiety out there in the land. Things are changing depending upon which half of the country you align yourself with. They're changing for the worse or they're changing for the better. But they're changing. And change upsets people. Change upsets many, many people. It's they found like psychological stress units, they're called. And for instance, getting married, there goes the, see, this change bothers me. These things popping out of my head, Change bothers people. If people get married, that has the same number of psychological stress units as an impact on the psyche as getting divorced does. So it's not worth the trouble, right? That's speaking of somebody who's been married for 40 years. No, I think it is worth the trouble. And, there's trouble now and then, but that's life. But change is what people can't take. People don't like change. Some people are addicted to change. Now, there's a neat one, and I maintain that indicates fear of change. There are people I've known who will get an apartment, fix it up, move in, and then 2 years later move out. When the lease expires, they go. If it's a 1-year lease, they go. Get another one, do it all over again. Keeps them busy. That's what change can do, is can keep you busy. And a lot of people need to be kept busy. Well, there are things you can do to not let change bother you. There are things that I've talked about in the show, like the time I had a medical procedure, which the doctors told me is going to be extremely uncomfortable and would bother me a great deal. They were going to, I'll tell you what it was. They were going to insert a catheter into my right arm and send it across to my heart so that they could pop some antibiotics right smack into my blood system, because I had a horrible infection that had almost killed me. And I said to them, well, if it's such an uncomfortable thing, would it help you if I just go to sleep? And they laughed. They laughed at me. I've told this story before. But I promptly went to sleep. And then, of course, when I came out of it, they asked how I did that. They said they'd been doing these things for 20 years and nobody ever fell asleep doing something like that. And I told them, I explained it had to do with meditation. And they said they definitely were going to call me tomorrow and talk about this. And of course, that was 12 years ago, and I still haven't heard from them. Nope. And I won't, because they convinced themselves that it didn't happen. I had a few years ago, after I had a blood clot in my eye, I was given a series of tests to see why I was producing blood clots. And they put me in a really noisy MRI, and I fell asleep in the noisy MRI machine. And when I was done, the person running it looked at me and said, "You meditate, don't you?" See, now she got it. She understood. I found a kindred spirit in the medical system. But I want to show you a book that I've got, speaking of low prices and money, because it's not very expensive. I keep this one deliberately low priced. This is, that should do it. Can you read that? You got that? It's from my series of books, which hasn't really appeared yet, except for this one. The rest of the series hasn't shown up, called Magic Made Easy. And this is about the middle pillar technique, which is a form of meditation. And it's a classic esoteric meditation, and it's worth knowing, because you can relax yourself under the most trying circumstances if you know how to do this. And again, that's a book that I keep the price under $10. It's not a very big book. So I'm not going to charge a lot for it anyway, but I also want it to be as accessible as possible. So you can go to mojoacademy.org, and you'll find well, I'll tell you what you do. You'll find it. I'll tell you an easier way to get there. tiny.cc/ Am I going blank on you now? See, I had to wait until I'm this old to do a show like this, right? /EZ Magic, capital E, capital Z, and lowercase magic, MAGICK. tiny.cc/EZ Magic, and you'll get right to the page for this book, and you'll take a look at it, because it's worth knowing how to control yourself and relax yourself when people around you are going bonkers. Now, of course, when people around you are going bonkers, the first thing you want to do is get out of there. But sometimes you can't. You might be on a bus, you might be on a subway. And fear and anxiety is contagious. Oh, brother. Highly contagious. So don't let it get the best of you. If you can practice simple meditation, and I also have some meditation discs that I sell. You can look at magic-works.com and see the meditation page. But I highly recommend this book as a start for if you haven't done any kind of calming meditations. This is the way to go about it. So let's keep that in mind, especially since times they're crazy and they're getting crazier. Let's face it. This is a nutty time period. And there are people who will do something called profit off of our discomfort. They live for that. There are people who just live for breeding anxiety and disorders, and we call those people television pundits. They just want to upset people all the time. They scare everybody all the time. And soon enough, they're going to lose that effect, because you can't keep scaring people. But if you want to really ease up on this stuff, this is the way to do it. So that's about all I wanted to get into before we do the readings tonight. And let's do this. Let's ring a bell 3 times to declare sacred space. And now I'll pull the curtain back on the magical window. And let's see. Oh, well, I'll just keep talking for a moment, because there's a little gap here that I didn't quite anticipate. But we'll get a caller in a moment. So what else is new here that I can tell you about? Well, I'm still taking constant medical treatment because I'm in the process of dying. But they're holding that off. They're doing very well with that. As you can see, I'm still here, and I'm still a chatterbox, and I'm doing okay. But I've hit a milestone now, feeling almost exhilarated. And part of that is that I do this kind of meditation while I'm under the treatment of the medical experts. See, it's a thing that can benefit you in untold ways in your life. So I'm here now because of a combination of science and esotericism. We'll put it that way. So let's get to our first reading. Carol in Cedar Lake, Indiana is on. Hi, Carol. You're on with Reverend Elliot. Carol, you with us? Hello? No? I'm not here. I'm hearing what sound like drums, but I'm not hearing Carol. You with us, Carol? No? Well, let's see. Let's see what I can put up here. So anyway, well, why don't you just sit and look at me for a while? That's the cheap way out. I'm not getting anything here at all, and I'm getting kind of a fuzzy sound that is not as clear as when we were talking earlier before going live on the air. So if that helps, speaking to the producer here. In the meantime, let's see, what else can I tell you we're doing? Well, I got these buttons. These are nice little buttons. I think I showed you them last time we were live. It says, I enjoy reading books, but I'm crazy about reading tarot cards. You can find that at magic-works.com and mojoacademy.org. All the usual places you can find them. Is Carol with us now? Okay. So I wear these and these buttons, and people come up to talk to me, and surprisingly, nobody has tried to burn me at the stake. So I suspect that New York City is getting a little advanced spiritually. But we used to have tarot reading gypsies on every corner in vacant storefronts. Well, we don't have that many vacant storefronts anymore. And they're, I'm sorry, did I say gypsies? I know that I'm not supposed to do that anymore. Romany people is what we're supposed to say. So I'll be kind and go with the flow. But there used to be tarot readers everywhere in New York, more than Chinese restaurants, in fact. They would be on each block. And people here in New York are pretty nuts. And one of the things that they did was they would go to tarot readers just to have somebody to talk to and vent, because we've got 8 million people here, and almost all of them are lonely. Not all of them, but a lot are just lonely, and that's it's kind of sad. But since the pandemic, I've noticed that people here talk to strangers on the street, and it more than just give me your money. They'll talk, they'll compliment how the other person is dressed, they'll get into a conversation. I've had plenty of street photographers take my picture. They've gotten an appreciation for their neighbors, which I hope lasts, because that's one of the things that I like about this town. Now that some of the great pleasures of New York are gone, like museums. I mean, I used to love going to the various museums, the Museum of Natural History, the Museum of Modern Art. Now it's like $40 to get in. And that is kind of a little cheesy considering how many donations they get and how much money they rake in. But, these started out free. Like the Metropolitan Museum was not allowed to charge to get in. They had a suggestion that and other people had a suggestion back to them when they made the suggestion. But one of the recent mayors made it statutory that it charge admission, which it never was allowed to, because it's the Metropolitan Museum, which meant it was owned by the city. That was the deal, because they gave them a piece of Central Park. See, now I'm getting into inside baseball here about New York. They gave the museum a piece of Central Park in exchange for not charging people to get in. And of course, now they're charging an arm and a leg to get in. And if they charge 5 arms and legs, then you have a Picasso painting. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah. So, hey, we've got the phones up again now. Jennifer in San Antonio, Texas is next. Hi, Jennifer. You're on with Reverend Elliot.
Hi.
Hi. How are you tonight, Jennifer?
I'm fine.
Well, good. Let's see what we can do to make that even better. What can I look at for you tonight?
I want to see if y'all have like a message from my past loved ones. Any kind of message for me?
Well, I'll take a look. I never used to do that until I started doing this show, and people asked me to do it, and to my surprise, it worked. There are several cards I look for to show that it's a genuine reading. The death card being primarily one of those, the high priestess who sees behind the veil, things like that. Here's a card I get a lot anyway, which is the 3 of Hearts, which is a card of great sadness. And here's the death card. There you go. Now, this is what's interesting, because this is how these things work generally. I get sadness at the beginning of the reading, and then it turns into something positive, something not sad. Which I find very interesting, and it was the first surprise I got doing this stuff. So, like I said, the first card is the 3 of Swords, which indicates sadness. Is that a train going by? Or is it nobody else hear that but me?
No, I didn't hear no train.
Okay, I heard it sounded like an elevated here. Then the star, which is the star of hope and optimism, and the Six of Cups, which is it's about happy memories of the past. So the message I'm getting is, although you're very sad at the people passing, they're saying that it's a very optimistic and hopeful thing. They're in a better place and spiritually, and they're saying, remember the happy times with us. That's the main message I'm getting. Okay.
Okay.
Is there anything else you want to look at?
Can you tell me anything about the relationship I'm in?
Sure, I'll take a look. Let's just shuffle them up again. Let's see what we get. Let's give it one more. They say if you shuffle a deck of cards 3 times, it's statistically randomized. So I'll go for a third one, and we'll cleanse it from the afterlife reading. But that's how those readings tend to go, which is the message is always, I know you're sad, but we're doing okay, so you'll be happy. Now, the relationship you're in, let's see. Well, this is interesting. The 9 of Coins shows a person who is comfortable being alone. It doesn't mean that you're lonely. It doesn't mean that you don't want to be with anyone, but you're not depending upon a relationship in order to be happy, which is good. The King of Rods is here, so that's a very good, wise, sturdy person who is good in business. Here's another card, the Magician, which is, now that's good. That's a card of a person who has great spiritual power and draws energy from above and brings it down here. So that's going to be very good for you. I'm not seeing anything, any speed bumps. And I have here again the 6 of Cups. Again, the same card. There's with that, now that's telling me that the people are watching you. The people we looked at in the previous reading are watching out for you. That's what I see with that. But everything looks good in your life and in the relationship, okay?
Okay, thank you.
My pleasure. Bye-bye now. And let's shuffle them up. That's interesting. I never had a card bleed over from that kind of reading to the next one. Let's give it a good shuffle. I'm trying to think if there's anything I've done lately that's worth. I'll tell you what it is. Worth talking about. This is not quite magical, but some of you know because I talk about it incessantly. I've written a book about shaving. Now, this may not be the wisest business decision I ever made. It's about how to shave with a straight razor. Only about 5% of men who shave use a straight razor and a mug soap and a brush. So that's kind of like a small market. But, hey, here I am. I went and wrote a book about it. And I like the book, actually. I like the book a lot. It's one of my favorites. I call it a new way to an old-fashioned shave. And you probably would like that, because if you have a man in your life who doesn't like shaving, this will teach you how to do it in a way that's enjoyable, believe it or not. But here's the thing. I also make my own shaving soap, which, again, I speak about incessantly. Mojo Brothers Shaving Soap, which you can find at mojoacademy.org. There's a page devoted to the shaving soap, and it's very well priced. Again, I did that because when the when inflation hit, let's knocking wood about recession, when inflation really hit, it killed off the only 3 brands of inexpensive but really good shaving soap that had been around for so long that it was the first shaving soap for a mug. That was Williams Shaving Soap. That's gone. There was Marvy Shaving Soap, which was the only soap that I encountered that was like the old-fashioned soaps that they stopped making in the late 60s. And then there was another soap, which was a generic kind of soap that well, you know, it was just, these were all very inexpensive and wonderfully foamy, good shaving soaps. And they all died because they were operating on such a thin profit margin. So I decided to make my own soap. I got all the equipment I needed and I got it all together, and I make my own shaving soap, and I sell that for about the same price, a little bit higher because of the inflation. But there's no way I was going to spend $19 for a shaving soap, and I'm never going to ask anybody else to do that. But I make my own shaving soap. And in the course of doing that, I learned a few interesting things. One of them is there was a man in the 1930s, a retired physician named Dr. Francis Townsend. And he had a thing called the Townsend Plan, which, if you find any of the recordings of the old Will Rogers radio shows from the mid-30s, you'll hear Will Rogers discussing the Townsend Plan. But since everybody at the time knew what it was, he never explained it. Well, it took me a while to find out what the Townsend Plan was. The Townsend Plan was going to provide a pension for all retired Americans of $200 a month. Now, in the 1930s, that's a fortune. That's a few thousand now a month. And the only provision was you had to spend it. That would stimulate the economy. Now, I found out that Dr. Townsend came up with his plan and he promoted it, and President Roosevelt opposed it, which there's a lot of stuff about President Roosevelt that we don't really get told. And one of them is that he completely opposed an old age pension, was dead set against it. But Dr. Townsend organized, and he sent 10 million signatures to Congress. And nobody can ignore 10 million signatures. They just can't do that politically. So they adopted the plan. Very good. And the plan was called Social Security. So if it wasn't for a man shaving in a leisurely way with an old-fashioned straight razor, which I can teach you how to do with my book, which you'll find at mojoacademy.org. It's look at the page, The Manly Art of Shaving. You'll see that Albert Einstein asked a question: why do I always get my best ideas while I'm shaving? Now, you see, we rush through shaving now. It's become a chore for men. You know, you zip through it and it's an annoyance. But if you take the time to do it and luxuriate in it and relax while you do it and almost meditate while you do it, I can tell you that it's going to change your life. And I'm addressing this not to the 5% of men who shave that way now, because they know what it does. I'm addressing the 95% of men who don't do it. So it's a great gift for the man in your life, or if you're a man and yourself, you want to do that, get it for yourself. Go to mojoacademy.org and look at shaving. Look at the page that's called The Manly Art of Shaving. Download a free brochure there about the biggest shaving mistake that men make. There, see? I learned that too. I figured that out too. So that's to me, these are all spiritual, because when I shave with first of all, you can't hurry shaving with a straight razor or you're going to end up in the emergency room. And I'll show you that a lot of people have hurt themselves over the years shaving with a straight razor because they do it the way they see it done in the movies. And in the movies, those are not real blades. If you shave that way, you'd flay yourself. So don't even think about it. But I strongly suggest that if you want to enhance your time, instead of rush through an odious chore, and I realize that most men listening aren't going to do this, but the few of you who do, I did this book especially for you. And my shaving soap will make it much easier. And I've got a special offer for a free shaving brush. If you've never done this before, then you don't have a shaving brush at home. And it can be daunting. There are so many on the market. I'll get you a free shaving brush under the right circumstances. So take a look at mojoacademy.org at the shaving stuff. I even have a counterfeit Williams shaving soap, which is my own soap, but in a box that looks like the old Williams soap. So it's kind of a fun little cheat. But that's that's stuff to look at my website. So Marie in Winnipeg, Canada is next. Hi, Marie. You're on with Reverend Elliot. Marie, you with me?
Hello, I'm here.
Oh, hi. How are you tonight?
I'm doing well, thank you. I'm recovering from a bad cold.
Oh, no, I had one too. But are you like me that you get sick when the seasons change?
Not usually, no. I fare quite well, but this was a doozy. It was a good week long.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm glad you're better, and I'm glad you're calling us here in the lower 50 states. You're certainly not going to be the 51st state, are you?
No, we're not.
No, I don't know. I sometimes think that's a publicity gimmick just to rile people up, because I can't see it happening. That's yeah.
No, there's always gimmicks behind these comments.
It can't be serious. I'm hoping. Now, if it's serious and they start amassing troops at the border here, give me a heads up, okay? Because that
there
would
you go.
Then we'd have to do something about that, wouldn't we? In any case, let's now that we know that isn't going to happen, let us look at your cards. What would you like to look at?
Oh, sorry, I'm getting lots of feedback. Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. What would you like to look at?
I think my future, my career, my retirement, and how
retirement. I always subscribed to the Travis McGee theory, the Travis McGee novels, a private detective type guy he takes his retirement in installments. So he'll work until he has enough money, and then he'll lay off for a few months and keep going. And that's what I did that. But then, of course, the pandemic hit, and my business got killed by the shutdowns. So I figured I was doing that. I was doing that 20 years. Good time to stop, right? So let's see what we have here. Okay, the Page of Coins tells me that you've been preparing with the money for retirement, correct? You've been planning for that.
A little.
Yeah, because the Page of Coins is the appearance of money. It's working with money. It's the money being there. The Justice card is here. That's pretty good. That means you're going to be getting what you. I'm fascinated here because you see these are all coin cards. You asked about work and money and retirement, and it's all here. The Justice card is followed by two money cards, which is the Four of Coins. That's a person who's very careful with money. A lot of people misinterpret that card and think it's a cheapskate, but it's just a person who very closely.
I'm very frugal. Frugal.
In a practical way. That's right. Practically. And the Three of Coins is here too. The Three of Coins is about a person who is doing work that is like a temporary thing. It's got a beginning and an end. So when the job is over. It's like a job that you've been like commissioned to do or a task within your job. And you're working diligently at it and you succeed in it. Now, the key to that is that it leads you to something else. The success that you have with that Three of Coins when you complete whatever that project is going to work to your favor. And it's going to lead to new job opportunities because I've got the Ace of Rods, which is about the new work appearing in your life, new possibilities for work. Now, see, to me, this is fascinating because you asked about this specifically, and 4 of the 5 cards I have here relate to what you asked for. The Justice card is a bigger thing, You don't have any lawsuits or anything going on now, do you?
No, I don't.
Okay, because if you did, that card would generally mean you're going to do well. But the Justice means you're going to get, in the overall scheme of things, that you're going to get what you deserve, which is what you've been working at, what is getting what you deserve. Now, the next card scares people, but it shouldn't. It's the death card. And that doesn't mean you're going to die. I mean, the cards don't predict that because we're all going to go sometime. The death card is the end of one phase of your life and the beginning of another. And that's your retirement. Because the death card, it has a sunrise there. It's not just dead people, but it shows a sun rising in the background, which means it's the beginning of a new day. So that is actually quite a good sign, because that card tells me that you're going to finish one period of your life and begin another one. And we know what that's going to be. And it's also, I have here the Four of Rods. Rods, again, are working career, and that is a card of happiness, a happy home and joy and all kinds of good stuff. So I think you're handling it well. You're being very judicious with, see, that's how I sneak in the Justice card, right? But you're doing it in a very judicious and frugal manner. You know what you want to do. You know how you're going to do it, and you're doing it, and you're going to succeed at it. You're going to have offers of new kinds of work that will push you along in your plans. But ultimately, you're going to retire, which will be the beginning of the next phase of your life. And I'm going to cut the cards randomly here, and let's see, what do I get? Good. Well, good. There you go. The cups, the Seven of Cups, which is about a person with a lot of ideas, good creative ideas. So your retirement, you're going to be very creative and hardworking in terms of thought and ideas and planning. And then the World, which is this is assured success, the Sun rather than the World. The Sun is healing, health, growth, happiness, and success. So you're going to do very well. These are all positive cards, and it's all due to your effort. It's your work that's getting it done. Okay?
That sounds great. What kind of timeline are we looking at here?
Oh, it's happening now. You're in the middle of it, right? This is what's going on now. That you're planning for it, and you're doing it, and you're making it come to life. Let's see if there's a card that signifies timeline. Let's see if I can get that card at all. Well, no, but there's another card of rods, which is work and career, and this is the Six of Rods, which is not just success but triumph. So you're going to succeed at your plans. This everything here tells me that your plans are going to succeed. So
that sounds wonderful.
Yeah, it sounds good to me. So you're going to enjoy it a great deal.
My headaches are worth it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I knew a guy one time who went when he was young. He decided that he was going to retire at 50, and everything he did in his life from his teens on was geared at retiring at 50. And he did it. I mean, he missed it by 1 year because one of his sons crashed up the car, so he had to work another year. But he did whatever advanced. Now you're doing this in a more frugal manner. He was fanatical about it. He learned how to be a tailor so that he could make his own clothing and save money that way. He learned how to take a car apart and put it back together again so that he could never have problems with mechanics and automobiles. He became a ham radio operator so he could talk to people all over the world and travel and have friends around the world. Because when he retired, he got a job mopping up as a custodian at an airline terminal. And in those days, I don't know if they do it now, but in those days, if you worked for the airline, you were allowed to fly anywhere in the world free as long as you paid the sales tax on the ticket. So he was able to, because he set up his life that way, he was able to travel around the world and stay with people who he had spent years talking with on his ham radio shortwave set. So, but he had a plan and he wouldn't let go. And he became a Boy Scout. He became a Scoutmaster. He became an Eagle Scout, and then he became a Scoutmaster so that he could take vacations in the summer at Boy Scout camps free and get paid for it. So this guy was on the ball. I like that guy. I miss the guy. But anyway, you're doing it, but you're doing it you're doing a similar thing. In that you're planning for it, you're living frugally right now and judiciously to keep an eye on later, and that's where so many people get caught short, is not doing that. And I applaud you for that.
Yeah.
Let's.
I do have a little second job on the side that's gonna carry me over after I retire, so that's in line there too.
I thought I lost you there for a while.
Hello?
Hi, I think I'll look at the tape, and I think I hit a button here, and I'm really a 19th century guy at heart, and I think I messed up the call, so I'm sorry about that. But you're doing fine. You're really preparing for the next phase of your life, and you're going to be rewarded for it. Is the way I see it. And that is, the card with the 10 of coins and the 6 of rods. These are really cards of abundance and happiness and joy and success. So my hat is off to you. Thanks for calling. And let's shuffle up the cards and get set for the next caller. You're listening to Reverend Elliot's Magical Window on the Ask One Radio Network, where we get together every Wednesday at 11 Eastern, 10 Central, 9 Mountain, and 8 Pacific to look through the magical window of the tarot. And as I did at the top of the show, discuss certain esoteric, occult things. This is, by the way, this is nothing to be scared of, the esoteric arts. It's gotten a bad rap from movies, but no, it's not. It's really not a scary thing. It's nor is it a superstitious thing. It's just this is well explained in things like the 10 Lost Books of the Prophets, which I spoke about earlier. But if you need to know more about magic and you're interested, if this piques your interest, and I hope it has, although I'm not being evangelical about it because it's not for everybody. But if you're interested, magic-works.com, magick-works.com is my website. And you can always contact me. If you have any questions, I'm happy to chat with anybody. Just my email is asktarot, ASKTAROT @earthlink.net. And you can find me through magic-works.com at the contact page, or you could contact me through Ask One Radio. I'm the easiest guy in the world to get hold of. But I'd be more than happy to chat with you. And no, there's no charge for that. People want some. Now, do you want something free? Aside from chatting with me, which may not be your speed, you can go to my webpage, magic-works.com, and see there's a free birth chart. I'll be more than happy to send you a free birth chart. If you want a full birth chart, it's a nominal fee. But if the free one really handles a lot of the information. And I offer everybody listening a free mini reading because I can't get to everybody in the show, especially with a blabbermouth like me, right? So if you want to get in, or if you just don't feel like talking in front of hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people at a time, just hey, drop me a line and I'll do a free mini reading for you on the house. That's my gift for you being an Ask One Radio listener. Sheila in Halifax is on next. Hi, you're on with Reverend Elliot.
Oh, hi. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you tonight, Sheila?
Fine, thank you.
Oh, good. What can I look at for you?
Can you just see if there's any messages for me?
From anyone in particular? Or do you mean from the other side or just in general?
I guess from my Aunt Rhoda, if you can, please.
Okay, let's see. Let's concentrate on your Aunt Rhoda, and I'll see what I get.
Thank you.
Well, my pleasure. That's what I'm here for. Let's see. Okay, the first card I have is the Sun, which I get that a lot when looking at afterlife readings, which is a card of health and healing and growth and happiness, which it says that the spirit is evolving and growing and is happy, is doing well. And see, that's always a very good thing to look out for. Here's the death card. There you go. That's one of the cards I look for to see if I am in fact doing an afterlife reading. Now that showed up in the last one I did. Now let's see what we have here. Let's shuffle them again and get another card or two for you. Yeah, these cards are going according to the way these readings always seem to go for me, which is they acknowledge sadness. Okay, that's the Nine of Swords, which shows a person weeping and under the Nine Swords. There's sadness in the loss. But the other cards here are happy. The cards are and then I've got an interesting piece of news for you. The Knight of Coins is here, and the Ten of Rods is here, which is the Ten of Rods is that the person was feeling burdened near the end, but is feeling much relieved now. King of Cups is here, and that is about emotional fulfillment. So the spirit is doing very well emotionally. We know from the sun that the spirit is healing and growing. But there's another card here, an important card. It's a major card called the Magician. And that is a person who has a spiritual bond and can bring power from above and use it down here on earth. And that's telling me that this particular spirit is looking out for you. Did you get that feeling ever?
Oh, yes, I do.
Well, this is a card that is confirming it, that the person is looking out for you from above and is helping take care of you. The last card is the Ten of Cups, which is it's funny because I mentioned that card earlier by mistake. The Ten of Cups is a great happiness and joy. See, the sadness is there at passing. The person who passes feels they tend to miss this realm. The people here left behind miss the person, but eventually the happy memories come to the surface, and that's important. And what I'm getting here is the message is that I'm watching you, I'm protecting you, I'm there for you, and you'll do all right. Okay? Does that help you out?
Oh, yes, it does. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. And is there anything else you want to look at?
Did my aunt Rhoda, did she read tarot cards?
Did your aunt read tarot cards?
Yeah.
Well, let's see if we get a yes or no here, which is, well, the Hierophant is here and the Queen of Cups is here. So what we're talking about is a person who is who is plugged into the spiritual side of things. That's the Hierophant. And the Queen of Cups is the emotional side of things. So in the absence of a definitive yes or no, I'm going to say yes, because the Hierophant is the spiritual authority. That's what that card represents. Okay?
Okay, because I had a reading once, and they said, like, I'd like to read the tarot, and I get it from her. And I kind of have this memory, when I was little, of cards being around, but I just, I wanted to know for sure.
Well, I'm getting the indication that yes, that because I'm getting the indication that she was a very spiritual person, and in fact a spiritual religious authority. So maybe she knew more than she was telling people. If you know what I mean? Because a lot of people hide that. You know, I don't.
Yeah,
I'm a perpetual blabbermouth, so I don't hide that. But to tell you a funny thing, the word authority rattles a lot of people. I once told somebody that I was an authority on tarot, and the person asked me, "Well, by whose say so are you an authority on tarot?" And I said, because I authored a book on tarot. That's what an authority is somebody who wrote a book. So there you go.
Oh, right on.
So I think that your aunt was very plugged into this kind of stuff. And that because I've gotten two very powerful cards spiritually, the Magician and the Hierophant. So that's good to know. I've got to run because I'm running out of time here. I'm about to hit the video wall and be finished, but I'll be back next week. So maybe you can listen again. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Reverend Elliott.
Thank you for calling. It's my pleasure. Bye now.
Okay.
And that's it. We've gotten through another technological feat, which is, it took me 20 minutes to log into Skype. Now, I don't want to say anything bad. I'll only say good things about Skype, and that is that Skype is going away in May. Good. How's that? But that's the system for now that we use to convey the shows. In the meantime, we'll get something new, something better. If I have to come knocking on all your doors, that's what we'll do. I'm a very persistent fellow. I was in sales, but I was never a pushy salesman. I never could do that. You wouldn't happen to want to buy this, would you? I was very shy. You have no idea how shy I used to be. Maybe I'll talk about that sometime. Maybe I can write a book about that, because I was probably the shyest person you'll ever meet. And that's no joke at all. And people came to very bizarre conclusions about me because they thought that I was kind of hiding things, but I was just shy. Well, I got over that really fast by forcing myself onto a stage. I was writing jokes for comedians, and I decided to do it myself. And nothing breaks your shyness like getting on a stage and talking in front of strangers. That'll do it. That will do it. But it took years. So I don't think I'm shy anymore. I'm certainly not a wallflower. Like if my life consists of experiences with doctors, and if I don't like what they're doing, I tell them, and I tell them why. And maybe 90% of them get upset, and the others will compliment me for not being a passive patient. And I can dig that. I like that. So until we get together next week, this is Reverend Elliott. The show is Reverend Elliott's Magical Window on the Ask One Radio Network, where we get together every week to look through the tarot for an hour. That's the magical window that shows us what's going on in life. You can find more about me at magic-works.com, magic-works.com. And mojoacademy.org for the books, especially the shaving stuff I mentioned and the shaving soap. Take a look at that, because that stuff make a nice gift. So we're out of here, and I'm going to be gone and hibernate until next week, when because this is a high point of my week is getting together. I'm not kidding. I'd do this every day if I could. But I'll see you again next week. Until then, remember, time flies. It's up to you to be the navigator. Bye-bye. Fellow seekers of truth, wisdom, and light. This is Reverend Elliott, your friendly neighborhood esoteric practitioner, coming to you live tonight from the city of New York, where we're still freezing. It's still cold here, but I've got news for you. This is show number 399. Which means, and I spent hours working this out on my slide rule, and I gave up. I ended up calling Elon Musk, but I found out he's the dumbest billionaire I ever encountered, which of course is a joke. That next week is show number 400. So I'm hoping to do something extra special for the show next week. But for now, it's going to be the same wonderful show featuring the great callers, fabulous people from around the world listening in and calling and talking to us all about things that are going on in their life. Now, I've got a couple of new things I want to talk about. I just released these, and you can find them at mojoacademy.org. That's the publishing arm of the stuff that I do, mojoacademy.org. There is one of the things I have, it's probably the most interesting offer I've ever made. And it's really only for people who are seriously into the esoteric arts. Now, I know that a lot of people listening aren't, as funny as it may seem, because this is not a show about magic in a sense. This is what I do, and I offer hints about it. But there are people. You don't have to be into the magical arts to want your cards read, or like having your cards read. I myself had my cards read before I was involved in the esoteric arts. But if you really are into it, there is a set of books that you should have, and the set of books can run a couple of $1,000s now, but the good news is they recently fell into the public domain, which means all kinds of people are reprinting them. So you can only get them, you can get them for only like a few $100s. Yay. But money's tight. So what I have is a CD-ROM, which has all 11 volumes of the Equinox. That's volumes 1 through 10 in the first set. Then the second set is the quiet equinox, the silent equinox, meaning nothing was printed. And then the third is called the blue equinox. So there's 11 books. I have an offer of all 11 books plus 2 tremendous bonuses for $14.99. Okay. Now, you can't beat that. And these are fully searchable discs with complete PDF files, and the